Hello, I'm MC Toon, the worst rapper in the world. Tonight, we have a little more serious topic here. A week ago, just over a week ago, it was last Monday, I believe, 8 days ago, George Floyd was the victim of police brutality and unfortunately died. Most people probably are aware of it. You can see up here the picture of the cop as he was kneeling on George's neck that eventually killed him. So sorry, it's tough. I actually found out about it last week. I had 3 streams last week. It was between them, so like I watched that video between live streams that I did last week, so it was tough. Anyway, so after that, then there's been some protests and some riots, and so I thought we'll talk about it and see if people have anything that they want to say about it. So I invited a couple people. Bunny 2007, I think. I don't see her in the chat right now, but she had mentioned something in a comment. I'm like, hey, I think you could come on. I got Jordan Sweet. He's connected on Zoom right now. Isn't in just yet, and I asked a couple other people, but I didn't get responses from all of them. In fact, I asked one guy that said that's been doing live streams from downtown Minneapolis in the evenings, and he's been very busy. He picked up an awful lot of subscribers in a short amount of time, so I figure he's probably pretty busy right now. So he didn't reply yet to me, so I don't know if he's gonna make it or not. So he is let's see, GQ man. I don't know. He's where is it? I'll find it. Yeah, he did some live streams of, and I'll play one of his videos if it works out. But yeah, he played some. He recorded a live stream, some videos from downtown, watching in the early days of some of the violence. So and protests. So GQ, where'd it go? Life is GQ. All right, and yeah, Jordan's talking to me here. All right.
But if I get done before any of that's done, I'll be back. But yeah, I'll talk to you later. All right.
All right. Thanks, Jordan.
All right, take it easy. Yep, no problem.
All right. Let's see. Bunny 2007. Yeah, you told me your real name. Was it Vanessa? Am I remembering that right? You're on. If you're on Facebook, you can find me on Facebook, Michael Toon, or you can send me an email, mctoon@mctoon.net, and I'll get you a link to come in with Zoom. Anybody else? This is an open mic. If anybody has things to say or knows somebody that might have something to say, you're welcome to come in. You gotta contact me. The link, I think the description has my contact methods in it, so go ahead and contact me that way. So yeah. So what the police did is horrible, and the response in many ways has been quite horrible. There have been multiple people that, because of the response, have lost their lives. Quite rough. So let's see. Team Skeptic. Hey, there you are. Okay. Team Skeptic is one of the people that I had invited. So, and he said yes. So, all right. Let me team. There we go. Send you the link. Zoom, I think that's the one. There you go, team. It's in your Discord. Let's see. So yeah, Bunny 2007, whenever you're ready. So yeah, so Team Skeptic, I think last night had been talking about it, and he's been in the service. So a lot of the people that are down dealing with it are National Guard or reserves or whatever. I don't quite know exactly what they are. So all right, you gonna be on video there? Let's see. We'll get Ilya. Where'd you go? All right, let me get team. Are you going to be on screen or just a disembodied voice?
Disembodied voice. I had to I had to deal with audio, video editing.
Sure.
Pulled the camera down off its mount to do all the cool stuff, and I haven't put it back up yet.
Yeah.
Figured I'd come in and chat for a little bit with you.
All right. So, last night you had mentioned a couple things, and in Minneapolis, where I live, it's big news. It's been big news every day since, and I think it took a little bit more time for everybody to kind of maybe catch up on it. But what's been happening down there in your area?
Well, it's crazy because the downtown Dallas and Deep Ellum, where I used to live, really recently used to live, it's been trashed. Shame. First off, it's an absolute blessing that I chose the career path, or the career change, I guess, the path change that I did when I did, and moved away from that situation. Living downtown was cool and everything. I love it. It was a great deal for me, but it was not conducive to my child, and it just wasn't a good situation all around. So I knew I needed to move out and get into a normal home that wasn't in the middle of a economic district, commercial district in downtown Dallas, in a historic part of downtown Dallas. So it was really a shame to see that protesters went through and with that. It's not even protesters, I want to distinguish between two things tonight. One is protest and rioting. Protest is absolutely what this country is built upon. Protest of unfair legislation from country from Britain, for instance. Unfair taxation. We all stood up against these things. It's part of what makes us American, is that we have it. It's so ingrained in our personality that it's written into our Constitution. These are like rights that we have rights in this country that people do not have across the world. And one of those rights is for free protest and free press. Those are two things that that we really take advantage of here. But what they're doing is not protesting. What they're doing is outright criminal act. And there are peaceful protests out there, and unfortunately, some of the police action has spilled over onto the peaceful protesters, and you never want to see that. This situation's not getting better. Nobody wants it to get better. The police don't want it to get better. The rioters don't want it to get better. You go and you look at the rioters, and I've been watching videos of people that have been sharing videos. It's a depressing situation, to be honest with you, to know that people that are close to my area are doing this. So depressing situation, number one, but the fact that what you said, people are losing their lives over this. I mean, aren't we supposed to be like pointing out the loss of life? I mean, it's kind of contradicting ourselves when we go out and we take lives in the name of loss of life, and the people whose lives are being taken, I'm sure, are not the fucking people responsible for the fucking injustice. And absolutely, there was an injustice done. There shouldn't. I spoke about it the other night. I said, look, and I looked at the video or a picture, and that was all that was really shared with me. And I looked at it and was like, yeah, that cop couldn't do that to me. You know, I have a medical condition that would prevent a cop. It's one of the things that I have to just accept is that, you know, if I'm about to get into a confrontation with a cop who's about to manhandle me, it's probably in my best interest of health to just put my hands behind my back, let him put the handcuffs on me and deal with it, you know, in court. I don't know what led up to that situation. I just know that what the cop did was absolutely horrendous and should never be tolerated under any circumstance whatsoever. And protesting police brutality is something I don't have a problem with. I don't think that the individual videos that come out, the individual incidents that make law enforcement put them in a bad light, that's not very well represented, good representation of law enforcement in general. Law enforcement in general protects us. 99% of the officers that go to work every day go to work with the understanding that they may put their life on the line to protect and serve the community in general. There always is bad apples. There's bad apples in law enforcement, in military, in religious institutions, in politicians, in business owners, and teachers. You know what I'm saying? 1%. You're always going to have 1% that's elite and 1% that's fucking horrible. You know, that's the opposite end of elite. And that's what we're dealing with is these cops that are the bad 1%. And we're trying to, I say we, but the rioters are trying to make it out to be every person that puts on a badge. And that's the most incorrect thing you could ever say. I have personal friends of mine that I've known for a long time that are Baltimore police officers. I have a friend of mine that's a Denver police officer. I have several friends of mine that are Dallas and the surrounding area police officers. A member of my family was a police officer, a DEA agent, a K-9 unit for the county, for Dallas County. He even went to work for Homeland Security for a little bit. Those people that I associate with, I would never see them doing something like what that cop did. And so when I hear things about cops in general, or police officers in general, it always makes me become somewhat defensive to say, well, hold on. You know, if you think these guys are Nazi, boot kicking, kick you in the face, put you on the ground. Well, I can show you fucking 100 cops that aren't like that. So why do you think that one cop is a representation of all? And the protests are all based on this assumption that all police officers or the police force in general is a systemic problem of murdering its citizens, which is not the fucking case. And there is a race aspect to it. I'm not going to deny that there's a race aspect to it. That'd be walking through with ignorant glasses on. I try to at least look and see everything. But in general, the people I know, the people that I'm around, the interactions that I've had with my minority friends and cops, it's been just as bad for me as it was for them. So it's hard for me to even classify every cop as a racist when I've seen cops treat me just like they treat my Hispanic friends or my African-American friends or my Asian friends. And then I see and nobody ever talks about what the good things that cops do. There's 1,000 good stories for every one bad. But you know what? People in general want that fucking dumpster fire. They want that goddamn fucking lighter fluid fucking flame to just burst. Anything to get it going. And I'm sorry, but race is one of those things that people focus on. And it's, when there's a bigger issue here, the issue needs to stick with police violence. Man, people get killed every fucking day, you know what I'm saying, by police. And it's horrible. It's horrible. They need to have better restraints. They need to get, to a better screening process to try to find these murderers before they make it to the point where they have a badge, a gun, and a license to fucking kill. I mean, this whole thing takes me back to that situation where that man had another man in the hallway and murdered him. The police officer murdered that man in the hallway. The man was begging for his life 30 seconds before he's fucking shot and killed. And the cop even told him, I'm about to fucking kill you. Can you imagine the terror that was going through that man's fucking head? First off, that cop should never have had a fucking gun or a badge or anything about it. He should have been fucking, the process alone was a failure. when it failed to keep someone like that, when it failed to keep a person like that from having a license to kill and the method and means given to him. That was horrible, you know. But again, it's only 1% of this whole fucking this entire structure that's the bad apple. And we really need to see that also. While we need to address the racial tensions and the racial aspects of crime, and we need to address the police brutality on the American citizen, you know, we also need to keep in mind that these are the people that protect us. These are the people that put the fires out in your home when it burns. These are the people that show up and when you have a heart attack and administer, you know, care on site and get you to a hospital to save your life. These are the same people that you're accusing of just that you're lumping into a group of this one officer, this one deed, or this deed committed by, you know, a small percentage of officers and the police. It's disheartening to someone like me, and even ex-military. It's really disheartening because we do kind of share a camaraderie with police officers for the most part, because it's definitely a community service type job. To be a police officer is a community service job. You know, to be in the military, it's community service job. Yes, we get paid, but we're doing it for our community. That's the idea that drives the desire, drives the want for someone like me, at least, to want to be, you know, in the military, to have those desires to be in law enforcement when I was younger. I mean, I don't hold those desires anymore. I'd rather be a YouTuber, but at the same time, you know, that it was a drive for community. Now, get this. I know there are people out there that see it and say, ooh, cop, gun, badge, handcuffs. That right there turns them on. They want to be a cop, not because they want to serve the community, but because they want to get their hands on those three fucking things. And that is where we fail. We fail when we don't actually use that as an elimination process, or we don't screen hard enough to find those properties in these absolute fucking murderers. And we put them in a position to murder. And it's not fucking fair. It's not fair to the good cops, and it's not fair to the American people. And if whatever we got to do to fix this fucking problem, we need to fix it. Because today, and I started the story out, we're trying to talk about my situation in Dallas. Today, as I was driving home, I see protesters on the road at my house. And I'm like, no, what the fuck? Because it's one thing, they're okay. Go ahead, protest. But get this straight. The moment you come knocking on my fucking door is the moment that you're going to have another problem. You know, and I don't care about any of that. Race, religion, sex, anything. You put me and my son in danger, and that's where the problem spills over from this incident that completely happened, that was completely dissociated with me and my life and what I'm doing, and brings it to my front doorstep. And it's disheartening, man. Like I'm pissed. I'm fucking pissed. I'm pissed at everybody right now.
Well, thanks for that, team. Just to introduce, we've got Vanessa and Ilya both popped in. I'm gonna fix the scene here, but you see Vanessa on the screen there. Thanks for coming, Vanessa. You're Bunny 2007, correct? So yeah, good to have you. And Ilya is also here, but disembodied as well.
Yes, I'm a disembodied voice. It goes very well with our stupidly creepy thing. But I just want to kind of address some things I was seeing floating around in the side chat as Team was talking. So, yes, I agree with Team. Not all cops are bad guys. I think there's a lot that can be said for starting out with mental health and doing a better job of vetting people who are coming in to serve and protect our country from a police perspective. And I think there is something to be said for looking at mental health as a whole. And I mean, our mental health system in America is completely shattered and broken. And I think that a lot can be said for fixing mental health within America first, so we can identify, people who need help, who shouldn't be handed a gun and charged with serving and protecting the American people. So First of all, I do agree with Team as far as that goes. Not every cop is bad. I know a lot of good cops. I also know my fair share of bad cops. But a couple of things I saw floating around in the side chat while he was speaking was someone said Black Lives Matter and then someone said All Lives Matter. So I just want to address that real quick. Um, Example, and this is just a metaphor. October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It doesn't mean in the month of October that every other cancer doesn't matter. Every other cancer is still important. Period. It's just simply saying we are going to honor the women who have survived through breast cancer. So when we say Black Lives Matter, it's not saying that all lives don't matter. It is saying that Black Lives Matter too. That's what we're saying when we say that. Yes, all lives matter, but Black Lives Matter. And we are seeing racism hit an all-time peak that we haven't seen in years. We are seeing it happen. We are seeing Nazis, neo-Nazis. We are seeing new rising young population getting indoctrinated into the Ku Klux Klan and into the Aryan Nation as young as 9 years old, based on the studies. They're getting indoctrinated online because we have parents who are checked out in this country. They let video games or TV or something else babysit their kids, and they're not parenting anymore. So these kids are going onto online forums and meeting people and getting indoctrinated early. And then before you know it, they're all of a sudden a part of this online group and they are learning how to hate. That was one of the studies I had to do last week for a show on the Uncalled For that I did around terrorism within the incel community. And there is a ton of overlap between the neo-Nazi movement and incels and these young men going online and becoming indoctrinated because they don't have parents parenting them and they have mental health issues. And the United States is fucked up, sorry, MC Tune, with their health care and with their mental health system. So we are leaving our young men open to being indoctrinated into these horrible sects of society rather than stepping up and doing what we need to do and demanding better health care and demanding mental health and demanding that terrorism, homegrown, be treated like flipping terrorism. Because that's what happens. We are not treating the Aryan Nation. We're not treating the neo-Nazis. We're not treating a lot of these things as hate crimes and as terrorist activities, but they are. Now, given, I'm not saying that that has any correlation to cops. I think that we have some loose cannons out there with cops who should have been better vetted. I am not pinpointing this on cops. I am pinning this on the administration we have, where they are not doing enough to protect the American people. They have literally closed their eyes to what is happening on our streets right now because they don't care.
Well, I'd like to speak on that just a bit because this isn't something new to this administration. This is something that's been going on for years and years.
Right.
And years. It's just that it's now more like prevalent in media because of the internet, because of the popularity of YouTube and Twitch and all these other, live streaming. Facebook is becoming like a toxic ground for passing sensationalized video and audio. So I think the problem has been continuous. It's been going on since the beginning of our country. I would say that it shows progress because we do see, more. We do see a progress in the advancement of people of color, but at the same time, and when I say people of color, I'm saying not white people. I don't want to just name them all off, but we do see progress in that. When you look at it from a grander picture, and you say, look at what the situation was in the 60s to what it is today, you could definitely say there was progress there. But right now we're living in a time when, again, we sensationalize the dumpster fire. It's one of the things that frustrates me more than anything else because I hate that. I would love to sit down and talk and have fun and be fucking funny, but you know what? That doesn't draw viewers in. What draws the viewers in is the dumpster fire. And it's just a normal habit for humans to turn and look at the accident when you're passing by. Because why? I mean, why don't you turn and look every other day when you drive by that spot? Because there's something crazy's happened. How come if a car's just, two cars are driving down, how come you don't turn and look at the two cars just driving down the road perfectly normal? Well, because that's normal. You turn and you look at the shit that you think is going to be eye-catching. The media knows this. The media is not going to report the facts as the facts. The media reports the facts, you get bored, you stop watching, you go watch the other media guy that's making shit up, because what he's making up, whether it's true or false or exaggerated, that's more interesting. And it's unfortunate because then now we're more aware of it. Now it's a good thing that we're more aware of it, because now we can start addressing it better, because you do see a lot more evidence of racial profiling and racist acts by cops. It gives us a better way to start understanding what needs to go into a pre-screening process, but at the same time, I think it's still getting better with time. It's unfortunate that we're living in the times that we're living in now.
Right. And I don't disagree. Yes, if you look back to where we once were to where we are now, sure, we've come a ways. I'm not going to deny that fact. However, there is still a lot of progress that needs to happen, and it needs to happen from the top down. And I can only speak from personal experience, and this is a conversation I had the other day specific to a situation where I had a friend who used a racial slur that I am very much against. And the conversation was around the fact that my nephew is Black. And I was expressing to them how on the school bus at his age, he had things thrown at him, racial slurs called at him at the age of 9, at the age of 10, at the age of 11. And although, yes, I agree with you, team, 100%. The media does sensationalize the negative. They absolutely do, and I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. There is still systemic racism happening that is not shown. And it's happening within our neighborhoods day to day. That's not being handled. And, these children are being taught to hate. I mean, how can you hold a 5-year-old accountable? They're being taught that, right? But how do we as adults become the village that those children need in order to help turn them in the right direction? And what do we need to do to have our voices heard where it needs to be heard, to ensure that we fight for better processes, and we fight for better mental health, and we fight for better health care? And we're not going to resolve that unless we face the truth, which is, unfortunately, that as we progress, it's not eliminated. And I don't know that it'll ever be completely eliminated. That's probably a far-fetched dream, or the hippie in my heart, right? I want everybody just to love each other. But at the same time, what can we do to make it better, especially for our young men and young women growing up and not having parents or at least parents to raise them in a respectable way? And it's really sad. Our foster care system is broken. A lot of these people you see that are acting out have come from broken homes, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm divorced. I'm not saying that broken homes are bad homes. What I'm saying is they don't know how to act any other way. They've had potentially no upbringing to show them positive influence. And if you get enough people killing other people under racist terms, you're going to see what's happening now, because eventually the Black people in this country got fed up, and I can't blame them. Now, do I agree with rioting and burning things down? No. I don't agree with that at all. I think there's always a peaceful way to protest. But
Yeah, like I said, this
yes.
country was built on peaceful protests. I mean, we have the ability to stand up and be a power with our, in numbers. And I mean, that's one of the key things that we, like anybody listening to this, needs to take in. Like, there's a right way to do things and there's a wrong way to do things. Like I started covering First Amendment auditors, right? And the first thing I said in my videos is, look, guys, I'm not against anybody conducting a First Amendment audit. Your First Amendment right should be protected, but there's a right way of doing it and there's a wrong way of doing it. Now, we the people, right? We put ourselves in a position to speak in numbers. That's what the way the government is made. First off, politicians don't have jobs if they don't address what the community needs. That's why there's levels of politicians that start, with community representatives all the way up to state representatives and national representatives. That's the whole purpose of that, is to speak with numbers. And even if it's in small groups, when it affects the whole nation, we as the people can stand up and speak with our numbers, our numbers at the voting polls, our numbers, in our numbers in front of courthouses and holding peaceful protests and peaceful marches, and, registering with the city so that way we can have, entire roads blocked off instead of walking out into the road and trying to block a 60-mile-per-hour moving car. I mean, these are the type of things that we need to eliminate bad ideas.
I agree.
Walking in front of cars is a bad idea. Going down to the courthouse and applying for a proper permit so that you can put 1,000 or 10,000 people in the middle of a road that's already been blocked off so you can make a point, that's proper and that works, because then politicians take notice. And when politicians, because if they know that they're not taking care of those people's needs, that's 10,000 votes that go to somebody else. And if it's 10,000 votes going to somebody else, then hopefully those people are voting for someone who more fulfills their needs. And when you do that, eventually, systemically, you move forward and you start pushing it all the way up the line. You start with community leaders, then you go to state leaders, then you go to national leaders, and you can do this. We have a power. It's in our numbers and it's in our ability to vote.
Yes, no, I completely agree.
We failed in 2016. The country failed. The country failed because there was not a good candidate for anybody to vote for in that election. There was just simply not somebody that most represented the people that could have been put into office. And I don't think we put the right person in. I just don't think there was a right person in that group of people.
No, and a lot of people said on autopilot. I mean, a lot of people for years were so used to sitting on autopilot because they either live in a red or a blue state and it doesn't matter. That's wrong. You need to vote. You have the right to vote.
Yeah, I live in a red state. I read in a completely red state, and I hold a very centrist opinion. You will never find me going full leftist. You'll never find me going full rightist. I think that there's an answer that's better than one side or the other, that takes everybody into account, that addresses all issues, that starts treating the American people like we are the American people. That's what we need right now. We need somebody that unifies the people. The politicians, there's 1,000 politicians in this country. There's 300 million people in this country. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about politicians on the important level that are responsible for national legislation. There's 1,000 people that represent 300 million. Now 300 million or 299,999,000 of us, we need to stand up and do what's best for us as a people, not as a group of people, but as the American citizens that we are, because we're all American citizens. White, black, man, woman, flat earther, globe earther, it doesn't fucking matter. We're all, if we live in America, we were born here, we are, or if you naturalized here, if you've come over here through immigration, or you're just somebody who's here illegally, I don't care. Welcome to my fucking country. You're an American as far as I'm concerned, because you're right here with me and you're dealing with the same shit I got to deal with.
Completely agree. Same page. Hey,
so Vanessa, we haven't had a chance for her to talk yet, so I'd like to get a little bit from her. You kind of gave a little bit of background, Vanessa, in your chat earlier. Maybe you want to start with that and give us a little bit of your thoughts. Oh, your audio is not working. Let me see if you're... Yeah, you are muted, so let me unmute you. Yeah. I think you have to unmute yourself, because I can only do so much here. Like, I can hit the unmute all, but if you choose to mute yourself, you're still muted. So up
before she speaks,
left.
I would just like to say I'm not sure if I've ever had an interaction with you, Vanessa. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, same. I haven't met you.
On the bottom left, there's a microphone thing of your screen there.
And nothing but love for you, team. Love you.
Oh, I know. Oh yeah. Ilya, look, if I didn't feel like I was in a comfortable place to express my opinion, I don't feel like I hold a bad opinion. It might be an uneducated opinion because I don't really dabble in these types of discussions because there really is no right way. There's really no right answer. I mean, every time someone says, well, this is a right, better way, someone goes, yeah, but over here, these guys suffer when you do that. Okay, well, let's do this to make those people not suffer. Well, now these people over here are suffering. And then you do something for them, and then these people over here are suffering. And I'm not saying people as in different races or sex. I'm just saying groups of people, whether they be business owners or socioeconomic classes. You know, anytime you help one thing, it's always at the cost of something else. You know, so I try to stay away from these topics because of the, you know, just the gray line that separates. Yes, it gets so messy, and things can be misconstrued. I'm sure there's 100 things I just said now that can be taken out of context and misconstrued and put in a way to where the leftists will use it against me, or put in a way that the rightists, you know what I mean? Like any way you want to look at it, there's a way to spin whatever someone says when it comes to politics into the narrative that you want them to, you know, that helps your narrative best, especially when you're someone like me who just doesn't select a side.
All right, Vanessa, it says that you're not muted, but we still don't hear you, unfortunately.
Let me take a glance real quick and see if I can. She might tell her to click the up arrow next to the mute button.
Yeah, click that, and then you can pick your microphone device.
Yes.
There might be a couple choices there. Zoom is pretty good about finding all the microphones, but it's not quite working for you. Sometimes it's just a hardware issue.
I thought you had vMix.
Oh, no, I don't have vMix. This is Zoom. I'm on a Mac. I don't have
vMix works on a Mac.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, and DKG made a really good point, and I just want to bring this up. I think it's hilarious. We can't really put too much into anything I say, because remember, G-Man, because I believe evolution is real, G-Man did call me a racist. So, you know, everything I say comes with, you know, some kind of racial bias, I'm sure, because I believe in evolution.
I'm a centrist like you, and I think everything that you said made perfect sense. I think that there are some things that are probably just a little bit closer to me because I've seen it firsthand, like with my nephew and stuff. But other than that, like, I appreciate everything you had to say.
Yeah, and you know, to me, see, understanding the racism to me is real hard because of how I grew up. You know, I didn't grow up in a racist home. Now, here's the thing. People around us and family, like extended family and the older family, they held on to a lot of their racial views, you know, their racist views. But I didn't my mom and my dad made sure never to subject me to any kind of racism. Plus, here's the funny thing. This is what I just don't fucking get, right? I was poor growing up. You know, I grew up in a lower socioeconomic class. When my mom and my stepdad got together, there were four of us, and four of us. There was four of us at the time. We added one later, but there was four of us at the time, right? We all four slept in one bedroom, one 10-by-10 room, all four of us kids. My mom and her husband, they slept in the other bedroom on an inflatable mattress on the floor. Like, there's not a lot of people that ever have to go through that. But the thing is that a lot of my friends who were minorities when I was younger were also going through the same thing. You know, they were poor too. They didn't have money. They didn't have money for new shoes, Jordans. Like, you know, I never wore Jordans in my life. I never wore fucking Nikes until I was an adult. I didn't even know there was something other than Payless Shoe Source for a place to go get shoes, or Walmart to go get shoes. That's what life was like growing up for me. So the people that were in that same socioeconomic class with me were of mixed races. And we all felt it coming from the people who were in higher socioeconomic classes. They all they treated me just like they treated the rest of us. That's why I'm like, but I know that it exists. I just know that I'm ignorant to the, you know, to its effects to some degree because of the way I grew up. I'm biased towards not even seeing it because I didn't live in that environment. My friends weren't subjected to racism. I wasn't when I was with them, they weren't subjected to it, at least. But we also didn't ever talk about it either. You know, maybe they were subjected to it and we just didn't even notice it because we were too busy fucking being kids, having fun. You know, it begins to get really hard for me to even speak from, you know, relatable terms.
Yeah, it is. Just Payless shoes. Vanessa, still can't hear you for some reason. Captain Crunch is telling Team to basically quiet down a little bit. He doesn't. I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know, Vanessa, and I don't do Windows, so I can't really help you too much with figuring out the audio issue there. So, are you on Windows? Yeah. Okay.
If you go to your control panel and hold on, I can walk you through it real quick.
Yeah, let me walk you through something real quick too. Go to in your bottom area where you can search something, type in sound, and then it's gonna say sound settings, okay? And then over on the right on sound settings, you're gonna see sound control panel. Click that.
Mm-hmm.
Go to recording. Find your mic in the list of devices that are there. Right click your device and put set as default communication device. And then you're going to need to restart Zoom after that. You're going to need to close down and restart Zoom.
He's taking her the same path I was going to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ilya.
I also sent.
No,
Vanessa,
it's okay.
Hold on, just a second, Ilya. I sent you an email. You can call in with the phone, and all the details are in that email too. So that's another option. I think she's gonna give that a shot. So, yeah, I really wanted to get her input on it.
For sure. Well, I'm going to drop out. I just wanted to kind of come on and put my 2 cents in real quick because, you know, this is it's a scary and sad time, right? And I feel for these young men and women who are out on the streets tonight fighting and being violent. And, you know, my heart breaks for them because they are so angry. So there's a part of me where I'm heartbroken for them, and there's a part of me that wants to go out there and give them a good old mama hug and tell them to please just stop doing this. But I love you guys. I'm going to go to bed because I have to be up for work in the morning. But thank you for letting me come on and just kind of speak my piece for a few minutes. And, you know, I love you, team. Love you guys.
You too, Ilya.
Bye.
Bye. Well, it looks like we got something coming here with Vanessa. She's on with her phone, but I still don't hear anything.
That's weird. I don't hear anything either. Oh, Toon, I'm in such a fucking bad mental state right now, man.
Yeah?
Like I know I'm gonna over exaggerate while we wait for Vanessa to come in. My last video, which was tracking to be one of my best videos, was taken down due to a content ID claim.
Oh, jeez.
I'm so pissed off, man.
Do you know what it was?
Yeah, it was fucking that Mark Sargent. I redid my Mark Sargent
Oh.
this morning interview video. Look, Tim, I took so much time to transcribe my old script off of a video from the, on the page. I had to go and watch the video in a little box and then transcribe it. Then I was like, yeah, I got to make this kind of new, so I got to use new jokes. I'm going to use maybe 60% of the original script and write in a bunch of new jokes. Ended up doing that, right? Put the video out. Video was fine until this morning. So it was a manual claim, not an automatic claim. Whoever's claiming it obviously doesn't understand what fair use is, or they're just blindly claiming anything. Oh, look, I hear Vanessa. So.
Sorry. Oh, man.
Yeah, I think that is your. To tell you what, I'll try that.
Can you guys hear me better now?
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you guys see me?
Yep, we got both. Yeah, we can see you through your computer and hear you through your phone. It works.
Okay.
It works.
Yeah, I'm looking at my old like bunny pictures.
Yeah, that's not on the screen there. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, glad we could get that figured out. I will. There we go. So why don't you start with what you started with in the comment there?
Oh man, there is so much, and I agreed with Brad's, and I apologize if I can't remember the woman's name that was just on here.
Ilya.
Gilia. Sorry,
Ilya.
I've been.
Ilya. Ilya.
Oh, Ilya.
Ilya.
Yep.
I apologize. My I have a bit of a and long story short, I have problems speaking, so it's from birth. So. But anyways, I'm kind of nervous. I do have social anxiety, so I apologize right now in case I seem kind of weird or whatever.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah. Gosh, there's so much that you can think of, and especially with Reds when he was talking about how he grew up. My mom, I could say my mom was, oh my goodness. I'm mixed. Let me start from here. I'm sorry. Okay. I am mixed. My father's parents are from Poland. They are Polish Jews. They are actually Orthodox. They did not accept my mother, but they accepted me. Till this day, I still don't know why. The last time I've seen them, I was probably about 7 years old. My father ended up, he was a very good guy, I guess, in the beginning. He did work for NASA Goddard here in the U.S. He was what you call what you call that? A person that's on drugs, but they're still going to work and things like you did,
functioning.
Organic, yeah. It's if I tell you my whole life story, that would be a whole.
I don't know. We don't need everything.
Yeah.
It's challenging being mixed though, right? Because neither side quite accepts you, right? Is that has that been your experience?
As far as my family, but growing up in Baltimore, honestly, and I'm not making any of this shit up. I'm sorry, this stuff up. I've had a lot of hate from black kids going to school. I had my hair cut when I was a kid. I was beat up all the time. I was called names like white bread, redneck, just all kinds of horrible names. One time a black woman spit on me. So I had this hatred, to be very honest, at first towards black people growing up. And that changed because my mom, like, I remember I was sitting on top of the washing machine when I was a little kid in my mom's house. And because my mom and my dad were separated, sometimes he came home, sometimes he didn't. He ended up having a kid with some other black woman. And at the time when I was a kid, I didn't understand this, but I realized it when I got older. So was told information about why I saw the things that I did when I got older. But I wanted to be black, so I took a chocolate bar and I covered my face in it. And my mom started taking me to therapy, and I'm trying not to cry because it hurts thinking about those memories. I still go to therapy till this day because of so much that happened in my life, and it's not just because of a black and white thing. It was because of I can say that my mom and my dad and I really, it seemed like they didn't care about me. They just was going about their lives or what they were doing. But they did care about me. At least my mom did. And God, I wasn't ready for this, but it hurts. And to see the things that's happening now, and my family still lives in Baltimore, and the things that they're going through, and being a mixed person, it's like you feel like when you say that, like for me, when I say that, I see certain things. And when I used to live in Baltimore and I saw certain things, like at the last riots that they had down there, I was there. I was living there. I was attacked. I was in my van and they attacked my van and they kept trying to open the doors. I had my daughter in the back seat because she was born with cleft lip and palate, my oldest daughter. And her sutures came out from her recent surgery when her permanent teeth came in. And she kept bleeding and breathing profusely. I was taking her to Johns Hopkins Hospital. And these people that was just banging on the freaking van and were just messing with us. And we were just sitting there. They threw a damn rock at the van and hit the windshield, cracked my windshield. And I'm thinking, I gotta do something for my kids. I can't, I drove through them. Yes, I did. And there's probably a video on YouTube. I was told that the video was circulating, but I drove through the people. I'm not proud of that. But I did what I had to do to protect my damn kids. Period. I did what I had to do. There was people supposedly that called the police on me or whatever. And when I was in the hospital and the officer asked me what happened to my car, I told him what I did. And he said that, that's self-defense. And he walked away. So when I tell people the story, and sorry, not to mention, but the next night when I was able to take my daughter back home, they were I think the cops, because at this time I was in East Baltimore, the cops on the main street that was like a block away from us, they were shooting tear gas. They shot tear gas, I guess, at the protesters and stuff. They started running through our area, like where we were living at, because they're row homes. We're in the city, and people were running through the front and through the back. I already told my kids to come downstairs because our plan was to hide in the basement. That's what I did. My husband was at work, so he couldn't come there. So I can't rely on my husband to protect us, so I had to do it. I own firearms. I do have concealed carry. When soon as they started running down the alley and stuff and running in front of our house, I told my kids, come downstairs. We're going in the basement. That's the plan. So soon as they started coming through, we were all in the living room. Soon as they started coming through, I was looking out my window out the living room. I started hearing something in my back door in the kitchen. I'm not sure if anybody lived in townhomes in Baltimore, but you have your front door right here, and then your back door is like straight through. So you go through. They started banging on the back door. We do have a big a big wooden bar or whatever that you put on the back door. So it's a 2x4 that you put on the back door. it's sad because a lot of people in Baltimore got that, regardless of the riots or not. But we got that to keep people from kicking in your back door. But I put that down there. But our window were glass windows, so it had the 4 panels of glass. Somebody punched their arm through there, and I don't know who the hell it is. Whether people say it was Antifa or a cop or whatever, I took my AR. I told my kids to go in the basement, and when they were trying to reach and pull that bar out, I shot through there. I shot through there, and they stopped. As soon as they stopped, I went in the basement. I locked that door. I went in the basement, in the back of the basement with my kids, and we went into where the storm cellar is. I don't know what you know what the storm cellar is, but that's like the, on the outside they have like a metal, like what was that door that's out back, and you go down there, I guess, for hurricanes or whatever.
Yeah.
That's where me and my kids had to stay there. We had to stay there for a couple of hours with my kids, just with my phone. And unfortunately, you can't really get a cell phone signal down there. So I'm down there with a gun with my kids. My kids were traumatized through that shit. This is the stuff that happens that people don't get that view of. I'm not recording. A lot of people are out there recording stuff or whatever, but the people that's going through that, like I did, I wish I did have a video of what I went through. I really do, but I don't. I just got my story. So you got to understand that part too.
Yeah. Well, that's a tough story. It's when you live in an area that that gets the spillover from the riots, and protests, it's dangerous. And people are saying, yeah, you protect your home and protect your family. Yeah.
Not to mention with all the stress that everybody's having to deal with on like just a daily basis right now with the pandemic and social distance,
Yep.
stay-at-home orders. I mean, it's a trying time right now. It really is. We come out, if we as a people don't come out stronger from all this, more unified and more united, then we as a people have failed. That's what adversity is all about. Adversity is all about bringing people together to get through the adversity and showing that we as a community can stick it out and make shit happen for ourselves.
Yeah. Vanessa, Ilya wants to give you a hug right now. And
I still have family that live in Baltimore. My grandmother lived there. I moved to Western Maryland 2 years ago because my husband was robbed at gunpoint in front of our house. Because supposedly the video of me driving through the crowd, taking my daughter to the damn hospital, was circling around. And we started getting like people writing stuff in chalk on our patio and like on our porch. And at that time we had moved to West Baltimore. After the riots, we moved to West Baltimore because we were always told, oh, well, East Baltimore was bad. No, I did grow up in Baltimore when I was a kid. My mom moved out of Baltimore to Baltimore County after my father was murdered in front of me, and that's a long story with that too. My biological father. My mom, not even a whole year later, and I was pissed at her about that. Like that's when behavior problems as a teenager started. But my mom, before I had a chance to even freaking grieve, she went on to the next guy. And I didn't even get a chance to grieve my father. And my father was killed in front of me. My father did own a firearm. And I was a person, you could probably find this news story in the Baltimore Sun if it's still there. This was in the year 2000. And I shot one of the intruders with my dad's gun. When I looked up the story and made sure it was there, but his name is Michael Mick. Last name is M-I-C-K. My maiden name is M-I-C-K. My name is Vanessa Mick. I'm married now, so my last name changed. I changed my last name to my husband's last name that I'm married to right now. There was a home invasion when I was at his house, and I was staying with my dad because my mom would let me go and stay with my dad sometimes. even though they weren't together. And I was there. And some people broke into his home, whether it was over drugs or what, I don't know. But I shot one of the people because they shot and killed my father. My father had his firearm and it was down the hallway, and I grabbed it and I shot them. I shot one of them. They're still in prison right now till this day because you know what, it might be just anger and I don't have that forgiveness. I don't, because every time when I think about it, that comes up. I'm still going through that trauma right now. They said I had PTSD, and I know I do, but I'm having a hard time forgiving that. They had previous years from before, and I know people that find out about me and get a chance to meet me, like when I went to City Hall when I was in Baltimore right before the riots and even after the riots, and they were like, "You're not going to forgive people," and I'm at this point till this day. It's hard to forgive. I'm gonna be honest, it's hard to forgive. I think about that. I have nightmares. I have to take medication. I have to take 3 different medications for what? Everything I've been through, including some of the stuff I know I messed up when I ran away from home after my mom got remarried, and I couldn't, like, it's hard. And the person that I was with beforehand, my ex, tried to kill me. I have a scar right here on my neck. He tried to cut my head off because I started to believe in Islam. And I met him when I was in high school, and they were part of the Nation of Islam. And I got into that stuff, but they were selling drugs. And I kept questioning stuff too much, pretty much being around them, seeing all the things that they were saying. And I'm gonna give you a quote of what my ex had told me at one point in time. Oh, we're selling it to the white people, the white people that's down there in Baltimore, over there in Little Italy and places like that, down there at Fells Point. So he thought that it was okay to do those things. And I started realizing, hey, that's not cool. That goes against what you supposedly believe in. But like I said, you had to do a whole interview with me. There's so much that I've seen that people don't understand. These riots are being taken over by people in some of these certain areas. I just know for sure in Baltimore for a fact, it's not just Antifa. It's people that live there. It's people that live there that already didn't give a fuck about that community from the beginning, and they've been doing that shit for years, and they don't care. That when people rob those CVS pharmacies and stuff like that, you know, they were still in the fentanyl that they used to cut the drugs with. I've seen drugs being cut in front of me before. I was with a person, my ex, that sold drugs. I've seen all of that. They didn't just disappear because of the riots. They're still there. They're taking advantage of it. That's all I gotta say.
Wow. Wow. Thank you.
By the way, before I go, and before you speak, you see this tattoo right here?
Yeah. It's a Star of David.
Star of David. You know what gang that is? It's called.
No.
It's called the Disciples. I'll just put it that way. Gangster Disciples. If you never know what that gang is, that's what it is.
Okay. Hey, I don't know if you're following along in the chat, but you got a lot of people supporting you in the chat here. The chat was amazingly quiet while you were talking. I think people are just taken by your story. So if people, can you see the chat? Are you looking at the live chat? Yeah, people, go ahead and say what you want to say to her. Maybe you have been just listening, so.
I'll say, thank you for sharing. This, getting it out a lot of times helps. I know, because I've been there. So your head up. Don't worry about being all weird, because you said something about being weird earlier. We're all fucking weird here. So, excuse me, Tune. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cuss. We're all
It's
freaking
all right.
weird,
It's
man.
all-
I know, man, but I swear I try to remember on your channel. I'm always like, okay, put on the good skeptic. Yeah, I know. That is my good skeptic there.
This is not a stream for kids. Oh.
Oh, well, maybe I'll put away my Legos.
I found your friend actually. Both you guys. I found you guys through my son. He's my oldest, and
Good
he's
man.
17 right now. And you guys helped him do his thesis for school. He's a AP student, and he's right now in technical college. So they upgraded him like through, because he was doing so well in high school that they were like, hey, you should be in college. So he's in college right now.
That's great.
Well, I don't want to ruin the mood by saying this, but Vanessa, you called me Reds a couple of times.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
now
sorry.
let me be honest about something here, okay? I do truly appreciate the comparison, because my
it's a
man has a
compliment.
very sexy voice. Yes, his face is ugly as sin, but his voice,
Team Skeptic.
beautiful,
Team Skeptic.
beautiful.
I'm so sorry.
Honestly, but really, it is an honor to be compared to somebody like Reds. I mean, he is my favorite turd, and I would never flush him, ever.
Skeptic is too white to be red.
Great observation, Mr. Caslow. That was highly astute.
I've been seeing him. He gave me a hint.
Yes. Fortunately for you to see me, first off, according to our community, I have to be facing you directly forward.
Yeah, you can't be
Otherwise,
sideways.
I'm too thin, and light will not reflect off of me to come back to you. So, so yeah,
I did post under one of your videos that you were DJ Marshmallow. I don't know if you know who he is, but I did put that down because you guys do sound the same. And just saying. No, I'm just joking.
You never can tell. He sounds like a sexy man, by the way, with a sexy voice. Totally gonna go listen. I'm gonna listen to DJ Marshmallow incessantly tonight. Skeletor, Robert Caslow in the side chat. Robert, we do not need your very professional subjective opinions on my looks anymore, sir. Hush.
Look, I've seen him in person. He's not quite Skeletor.
I'm not that bad, am I, Toon? Yeah. I'm not that bad.
I've seen both you and Punchy in person, and I think Punchy would disappear first. Just to be
really,
to be honest,
Punchy's smaller than me. Punchy,
yeah, I think
a
strong wind, and he's gone.
Punchy, eat something, bro. Hit me up for that nice lean Texas diet that'll put a little bit of meat on your bones, but won't have you so big you'll reflect light.
He doesn't eat cheese.
Who doesn't? Him or me? Because I don't either.
Punchy doesn't eat cheese.
I love Punchy. Punchy, I love you. Punchy. Marry me, Punchy. We'll have such an easy diet keeping up with each other, right? We just, everything we eat, we'll agree with immediately. No dairy, right? No, we didn't have to order no cheese pizzas. I know when my man Christ Punchy makes me a pizza, there ain't no cheese on it because he ain't eating cheese either.
That's not
I love
pizza.
You, Punchy. Hush, Toon. Why are you pissing in my Cheerios? Stop peeing in my Cheerios when talking about my pizza.
Is there at least pineapple on your pizza?
No. Vanessa, pineapple on pizza, yes or no, Vanessa?
You're talking to a person that has eaten crickets and lollipops before, and it was recent.
That sounds gross, by the way.
You ever had dehydrated mealworms from the same company? that
I've eaten some interesting things, but dehydrated mealworms are not on
you have to
my
give me
list of things. I've given hydrated mealworms to my fish before when I can't think of the name of the Oscar. When I had an Oscar, I used to give hydrated mealworms to him. But
Have you ever had
dehydrated, I'm good.
have you ever had
I'd
dog?
rather eat dirt. I'm sorry.
Have you ever had dog?
No.
They do in Korea.
I have had dog meat unintentionally from a friend of mine back in college. It was from Canada. That's where he got it from. He cooked it up in the stew. It was a tomato stew. Um, I'll say the same type of. If you ever had West African food and they have the goat and tomato stew, well, I'm eating it and I think that that's what it was. But he was like, "That's dog meat." I didn't believe him,
Oh.
and he showed me where they put the head at in the trash.
Oh no, look, okay, so I do have some weird food stories. The one that is the least weird, but the one that just makes you think, right? This one
Meat
got
tube,
me
huh?
thinking that,
Here comes
well,
the meat
no,
tube.
the meat, yeah, no, the meat tube, we're not gonna go into that. We don't have an entire 24-hour period to discuss the evidence for the meat tube, which you may say is none, but I may say is a lot. But okay, I was in Mexico this one time, right? And here we are just eating our chicken tacos right there on the beach. Yeah, no big deal, right? Well, again, I'm white as fuck, right? God, Doug, I'm white as snow, okay? I'm white as snow. And the Mexican guys that are in Mexico, they don't think we speak a lick of Spanish. Now, I personally speak a good deal of Spanish, but my stepfather's from Argentina. He speaks Spanish fluently, and he looks as white as I do. So we're sitting there, and they're all talking. And my stepdad's listening into him, and he just like, in Spanish, he asked him, did you just say these were iguana? And the guy looked at him, and he was like, yeah, it's iguana. And he was like, oh, okay. And he looked at us, and he was like, y'all are eating iguana tacos right now. I just want y'all to know. And I'm dead serious, mid taco, and I was like, tastes like fucking chicken.
Yeah, we had iguana. To me, it tastes like chicken and fish. You ever chicken and seafood? There's a grocery store. If anybody lives in Baltimore City, if it's still there, hopefully they didn't fucking burn it down. But there's a grocery store in Baltimore. It's called L.A. Mart. It's just L.A. Mart. They sell every damn thing, anything you want, and that's what I hate about where I live at right now. Because, no offense to everybody that's here, but they sell everything that people who aren't minorities buy, and it kind of gets boring after a while.
So I have a problem. I have a problem
out here. This is everything is just steak and ribs and chicken, and it gets boring, to be honest. But
I have a problem eating like super authentic Asian food. And it stems from a bad eating event. You know how you have those bad drinking events where you're like, I can't drink Goldschlager anymore because no.
I cannot have tequila at all. No.
So I go to this restaurant, and my best friend growing up was from Taiwan, and his father was a Taiwanese citizen. He was an illegal immigrant here. He was given a voluntary deportation order in the 80s. He ignored it, got several DWIs, and they said, you know what, that deportation order is no longer voluntary. We're just going to deport you. But before he got deported, I worked for him, and he was on like the Taiwanese Chamber of Commerce in our city. So one night he's like, hey, come to dinner with us. And I was like, all right, cool, whatever. We go into this restaurant, and it's authentic Chinese food. This is not the Chinese food you get from your local Chinese little restaurant, the little beef and broccoli. They don't have beef broccoli there. There's no such thing as a beef broccoli dish in China. You know what I'm saying? That's not what they call it.
Broccoli is different. Yeah.
So I go, and I'm looking at the menu, and hardly any of it, there's hardly any English on it whatsoever. I mean, this is one of those places that's really meant for the community, in a particular area of the community is called Little Chinatown. So I'm like, I have no idea what I want. And I tell my best friend, I'm like, hey, will you just order me fish? You know what I mean? You can't fuck fish up, right? I mean, it's hard. You can, but that's pretty detectable. Like you can look at the meal in front of you and go, yeah, that doesn't look right. With all these other foods, I could not do that. Maybe that's what the biggest problem was, is I couldn't look at the meal and say, yeah, this doesn't look right. But with fish, I was fairly confident in my ability to look down and go, yeah, nah, it don't look right, you know? So they bring out a fish, but Toon, listen to me when I say this, man. They don't bring out a fillet of fish. They bring out a fish. The whole fucking fish, right? So I looked down at it. It looked like fish. I mean, it didn't look wrong. I convinced myself that's worth eating there, guys. And I take my fork, which it came with several pieces of silverware, one which was an extra small fork that I thought was odd that they had a mini fork there. But I take the mini fork and I dig it into the fish, and I put what I pull off of the fish into my mouth and start chewing when I realize something's not right. All right? My friend looks at me and says, hey, you're supposed to peel the scales off first. I was literally chomping down on fish scales with a little bit of meat. And it ruined it for me. It ruined it. I was done. Now I don't eat cheese on pizza.
Can I say something for a second?
Yeah.
My husband's from Guatemala. I've been to his country twice so far. And I make it at home too. What we do is like we get tilapia. We do it with the tilapia mostly, but we also get something that they call butterfish, and it's like really small fish, and you deep fry it. Like you put the seasoning on there, you just deep fry it, and it's not like fish batter like you would get anywhere else. But they leave the scales on, and the reason why you do that is to add the crunchiness to it, because when you're deep frying whole fish, you can't, if you put breading on it, it'll burn. So then you'll end up, it'll burn before the fish on the inside is done. So what you do is you just put the seasoning. What we do is we get the adobo seasoning. If you ever go to like the Spanish session or something like that, and you get the red containers, it's mainly like this one company that makes it, and they have chicken bouillon, and they have beef bouillon, and they have shrimp bouillon. And sometimes we get the shrimp bouillon, but for us personally, we just get the chicken bouillon. And we just put a little bit of that on there with a little bit of flour just mixed in. And then I deep fry the whole fish. It has the head and everything. Of course it's gutted and all that stuff. But we leave the fins and stuff on because we like to munch on them. So we leave the fins and, the head on. And
so you'll just like gnaw on the fins afterwards?
Yeah, I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
But it's good though. You should try it. And if you just get some lemon, or lime,
why would you ruin lemon with fish fins? I can eat a lemon whole. I can eat the rind of the lemon, and it's everything tastes fine to me. Okay, why would I ruin it by chomping on dolphin tail?
Because see, the fish is already salty on the outside, so you put the lime, and it kind of,
Yeah, but I have this healthy obsession though. Recently, of sucking the head.
I don't know if you have healthy obsessions.
Okay, this one. Well, I don't. Nutritionally speaking, I'm not 100% sure this is a healthy obsession, but it is an obsession of mine. So we have the crawfish, and I haven't ate any this year, which is demoralizing in itself because of all the shit that's been going on. But every year I do crawfish fries, and I don't do them myself. I either go somewhere where everybody's doing a big one, or I go to a restaurant that's doing a big crawfish fry on, like a certain day or whatever. But I have started taking it and peeling the tail out and then taking the head and going and just sucking everything in the head. I don't even know if I'm sucking liquefied brain matter into my mouth, but it tastes so good. And I can't stop. I mean, it's great.
Surely you chest.
Do you like sucking the head too, Toon, of a crawfish?
No.
Crawfish.
That sounds terrible.
It's delicious. Oh, we're actually having a crawfish. Um, shoot, I'm in my garage right now. We have a deep freezer and a freezer and refrigerator in here. You'll see all the crawfish that we have in here for tomorrow. We're having a boil. So we're in a crawfish boil tomorrow. But yeah, it's on sale, so said fuck it, just bought it.
Well,
But yeah, I think. Oh, you go ahead. Sorry.
I got a couple other people coming in. I think they wanted to. I don't know if they wanted to say something to you or if they had some other things to say. So I gotta fix the.
Hey,
the
Toon, I'm gonna stick around for about another 5 or 10 minutes, and then I gotta get going. Like,
all right.
Me waking up to that email at 8 o'clock in the morning and being pissed off all day about it. Like, oh, Toon, it's my. If I could, I'm gonna read something to you, right? Okay, ranking by views, and this was at it. This is with 12 hours of it being down, not up. Ranking by views, 1 of 10, with 12 hours of not being up. Now you don't get that kind of traction and let it just go away, right? I mean, you want that traction, and they took it away from me, and I'm pissed about this shit. Derail the conversation.
Yeah, that sucks to have a video taken down. And you know what really sucks is they never really tell you why.
No, they gave me a 20-second clip. They were like, "This is the part where you use their content. You can delete it if you want." And I'm like, "No, I'm not deleting it. I'm standing up for the right to use their content as under fair use. That is the right thing to do." And in fact, I really wanted to make a video about it today, and I just thought how insensitive that would be to make a video complaining about, YouTube's copyright system with everything that's going on. It's just not right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold off on that video.
Was that Christ Puncher? Was that Christ Puncher?
Yeah, that's Christ Puncher.
I think I'm delayed. I'm
Christ
not
Puncher.
Really sure. My video looks delayed to me because I'm my laptop and then my phone. But
yeah, it is. If you're looking through, yeah, it is.
I could tell you a good way to hook up some noodles, and I learned this one from back when I was broke, like 3 times in my life. So you get the ramen noodles, you get a cheap pack of chicken thighs, because I know chicken breasts are expensive, but you get the chicken thighs that are cheaper. You debone them yourself. Get the ones that's in the bone because they're cheaper. Cut them up, dice them. You stir fry them in some oil, and then you add some frozen vegetables, and then you add the seasoning pack, and then you add the noodles. It's fucking good.
I think we had somebody else that joined. Was it Islis? Is that how you say your name? Isalis? I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Isalis? Are you there?
I don't know. Yeah, we got Brenda and was this Iron? What was your name? Iron something? My goodness, Iron Moop. There it is.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Is your audio working? You say something?
I don't think.
Well, Brenda dropped out, and I don't know if Iron Moop isn't saying anything. He's playing hard to get.
I love a challenge, Iron Moop. Continue to challenge me. We can't hear you, sir.
Oh, yep. He's not muted. Oh my goodness. Another issue with the audio.
Yeah, I was trying to do a quick refresh on my lip reading skills with Vanessa, but they were proving to be inadequate at when she was trying to talk. They are appearing to be exactly as inadequate when Iron Moot talks as well. I simply can't make out the words. It looks like every word he's saying is
It looks like everything's well, I got some on my end is delayed.
Are you watching Are you watching the stream on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm watching my laptop, but I got my crappy laptop.
So it comes to my computer, and then my computer sends it to YouTube, and then YouTube sends it to you. So there's There's a delay that gets added in.
Iron, let me try to help Iron out real quick because I think he's trying to talk. Iron, you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. There's a thumb up right there. I'm pretty sure. Was that a thumb up or was it
I
him
think he
grabbing
was touching the screen on his phone or something.
But his thumb was literally in the up position.
It was. I don't know if
he
that
probably
counts.
can.
Oh.
Okay, we'll do. Okay, hold on 1 second. Hey, if you can hear me, give me a thumbs down. Yes, I told you can hear me. It's great. I told you gave me a thumbs up earlier. God, Toon, you have no faith. All right, so first off, I'm seeing. Okay, yeah, it says that you're unmuted now. There you are.
Right, cool.
Woo!
Excellent.
Cries Puncher, how are you doing?
That's not punchy.
So you,
No.
I moved.
Moop.
So hey, Team Skeptic kind of had it right. It's Isaias.
Isaias. All right, cool. I'm sorry. I missed. Oh, I do see it as an I now and not an L. I'm sorry. It looked as the I looked like a lowercase L. I'm getting old, yo. I'm gonna be in your situation wearing glasses within at least 30 minutes from now.
Right. Actually, this eye doesn't work at all. It's
Oh, I'm
completely
sorry,
blind.
man.
Yeah, it's diabetes. That was my fault.
Oh
though.
fuck, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Responsibility.
I've got my younger brother suffers, and my stepdad. They both suffer from. There's type 1 and type 2. Each one of them is different.
Yeah, I
but,
got type 1.
yeah,
Since I
man,
was
I'm sorry to
7.
hear that. Yeah, it's been. I've actually had to learn a lot because of my brother's condition and become educated on that. On the diabetic problem. You know what's really going on with people that are diabetic. So. Definitely,
It's
man.
called-
It's an
side's
added
called
burden. Yeah, but it's an added burden you have to deal with, man. And I'm sorry you have to deal with it. But hey, you got us here.
It still won't let me gain weight. That's the only problem I'm having.
Same problem I have.
That's not a problem for me.
Well, yeah.
Can we
It's like
switch?
I have no
switch
muscle.
bodies?
Like I'm just all skin and
Well,
bones.
hold on,
because of it.
Vanessa was asking a question.
Test.
Oh, I was saying, can we switch bodies? Because everything I eat is just
Brenda, we hear
Test,
you, Brenda.
test.
Yeah, we hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
How you doing? I'm sorry, I don't mean to take over, Toon. Go ahead, Toon.
Holy
I'll let
shit.
you introduce Brenda.
What a mess trying to get everything set up. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. I know a lot of people have not used Zoom before, maybe. So
Yeah, this is my first time. I thought you had to pay for it because I tried to get it through the PC, but I don't know.
oh yeah, I pay for it. So since I'm hosting it, then nobody else has to pay for it.
Yeah, but
so,
on the phone it let me sign up for free. So
yeah, yep.
So team, you got a strike against your latest video?
Not a strike, a content ID claim. Kind of like when you play music in the background. Which, I mean, look, here's the thing. Like in my last video, well, my last video, because I had the reading comments video between my last video and my last video. My last video. Well, so those two videos, God damn it, getting my points together about the correct number of last has totally thrown me off as to what I was going to say. No, okay, so my last video had a clip from Michael Jackson in it, but it was not relevant to the actual the topic I was talking about. So I smartly, and yes, I am saying I smartly did something. Y'all can disagree with how if it was smart or not later, but I smartly took that clip out and put my own music in because it was not relevant to the debunk, So I saved myself from getting a content ID claim on that video because it wasn't relevant. However, should it have been relevant to the video, then I would have kept it in and just said, and I would have, filed a counterclaim based on fair use. What they claimed, the 22 seconds that they claimed was Mark saying, if you're in a vacuum chamber with a house inside of it and you pull the fucking top or pull the top out of it, all the gas is going to go out in the vacuum chamber. Why doesn't that happen on Earth? And that, I literally took that and answered it, fully answered the question, followed by "you're an idiot," and dinged him. You know, I mean, it was transformative, completely transformative.
Yeah. Do you think that he filed it or that it was just
No,
automatic?
no, it was, I can see who filed it. So typically with an automatic claim, you get it when you upload, because when you upload the video, it always has like a, you know, 100% downloading, and then you have to do 100% processing. During the 100% processing, what they're doing is they're analyzing your video for content ID claims. They're analyzing the speech that's in your video. They're analyzing the images in your video to make sure you're not showing like porn or graphic death or anything like that. They do all those things during that time where it's processing. If there's an automatic content ID claim, there's only two ways it can happen if it's automatic. One, when you upload the video. So you upload the video, the content ID claim gets put on before you ever even, the video ever becomes public, it gets a content ID claim. The second way that it's automatic is if they upgrade their library of content, and then YouTube goes out and looks for a content ID claim. But Fight the Flat Earth got hit with a content ID claim when he uploaded his video. So what I think happens is that in your studio, you have this area where you can go to copyright, and it will tell you other places where your material is being shared on the internet, or at least on YouTube. So you like TC Lucas one time, he shared a video of mine with full permission. I totally told him to do it. But the next day I got on and I went to my copyright section, and there it showed up. It said, hey, this user, TC Lucas, put 100% of your video on his channel. Well, I saw that, you know, that wasn't automatic. It just informed me that somebody used my material. That's what probably happened, is that they woke up this morning or yesterday morning and said, you know, looked on their copyright list, and they probably just blind strike everybody, you know, because the thing is that if you don't fight it, they win. And what they're doing is they're blocking it from being viewed, not even from just taking my money. They're blocking it from being viewed. And there's only one reason you would do that, right? Because if people want to watch Mark Sargent look like an idiot, they don't want them going to my channel to watch me make fun of him looking like an idiot. They want people going to their channel and giving them views and them the AdSense.
But you can file a counterclaim, right?
Oh, I did.
Okay.
But here's the thing. When you upload a video, you literally have 48 hours of prime time, okay? In the first 48 hours, for most content creators, that's when your bread and butter hits. They don't send out notifications 2 times. You know, there's people that receive notifications. They didn't get a chance to watch it the night before. The next day they wake up, they click on the notification, video's been removed. Those people aren't going to get a second notification, nor is that video going to have any steam that it had when it picked up. In the first, YouTube's been hating on me for so long. I mean, I have tried test after test after test to force them to send me a notification of my own video, and they won't do it. Even on an account that's not tied to my account, I still don't receive notifications. When I receive MC Tunes notifications, Fight the Flat Earth notifications, Greater Sapiens.
Yeah, well, he is nicer than you are.
These are facts. These are facts. All right. I'm not here to dispute what's so, you know, objectively true. But at the same time, like, when I do get a video that's picking up traction, the last thing that I need is for these jagweeds from you know, from Good Morning or This Morning claiming my video as their own, or claiming that they have copywritten material that I'm using, and it's not fair. It's not fair. And for someone that relies on this money, it's truly an economic fucking struggle. Like, that's I don't even want to talk about it. That's how pissed off.
They're always going to do that. They just are. That's them.
So they actually took I seen the video. They actually took it down? I saw it this morning.
Yeah, it was taken down. Right now I can. Yeah,
they filed a claim. FE Core files the claim, and then YouTube takes it down.
Well, this wasn't FE Core. Like I said, that was this morning.
That's Mark Sargent, isn't it?
No, yeah, but the content was claimed by This Morning from the UK TV show, IPT TV, I think. Let me.
Don't you have fair use?
Yes.
Yeah,
and you know the
YouTube,
funny thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
YouTube, you know, that you do have fair use, but YouTube has, you know, they give them, because they need to, the ability to flag stuff and file it under DMCA.
Yeah. So ITV is what it's called. ITV_PLC. Anybody can Google that right now.
Is that the British TV show?
Yeah, that's the British TV station. That's the British TV parent company, I believe, is ITV. So two things happened, okay? Probably, this is what I think happened. Someone woke up, saw there was a new video, didn't even watch the video, just claimed it. That person, who, if he was directed to be that way, that whoever directed that person needs to be dealt with, either fired or go through some like fair use training as to why it's improper to what it truly does to free speech when you start false claiming videos.
They aren't good. They don't care about that at all. There's
right.
There isn't anybody assigned to it. This is just somebody, you know, I bet there's just somebody in marketing.
Yeah.
They piss me. Right? You know, the thing is if they've done it to me and they've done it to Fight, we can't be the only two people they've done it to. I mean, I'm sure there's people that have made videos about other topics they covered. We just did the flat Earth one because it's flat Earth and that's what we cover.
I did want to say something, team. I did want to say something. The last a few videos with, well, it's going to be, it's not you. I mean, it's Fight the Flat Earth. I mean, you're associated with him though. But the last couple of videos with Fight the Flat Earth with Brian's Logic and then Mind of God, oh my God, those are just pure gems of wonderfulness. Just the beautiful destruction. I call it the beautiful destruction of Mind of God. I mean, it's just.
Oh, he's a moron. Yeah, he's a moron.
Yeah, yeah. And then I also want to shout. I also want to shout out to MC Toon, fellow Minnesotan. You know, MC Toon's all right. And also a great resource for his on his website for R. We now have R.
I keep telling people that it's.
Oh yeah.
I keep telling people it's mctoon.com/p, and I tell them to spell it PEE. That's right. All right.
That me?
Oh.
No, sorry guys. Sorry. That was.
No, you know, it's actually kind of good to learn about this stuff right now because I try to explain, I'm gonna start doing YouTube videos on actually like science experiments and stuff. Like just live stream, just do science.
There's never too many people in here there's never too many people to jump in and get on top of this trampoline and start jumping with everybody else because we're having a good time. It's a blast. Double bouncing people like MC Toon to fame. When I met MC Toon, he had 4 subscribers. I snapped my fingers next day, 4,000. That's a true story.
I have to go. There's an emergency right now in Baltimore. Shit.
All right, Vanessa. You have a great night.
Be safe.
I need to call my aunt because she's right there in the area. Somebody just got ran over by a car. There's a bunch of shit happening right now.
That
it's in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming, Vanessa.
MC Toon, suggestion for a debate topic. Is ketchup an acceptable condiment?
No. Tomato blood? No.
Tomato blood.
Why can't you people just eat normal food? That's the problem with American society right now.
But Vanessa, are you trying to drop off, Vanessa? And you don't know how I can end the session for you if you need.
Oh my God.
Yeah, go ahead and do that, Toon. I don't want her to be trauma. Her trauma doesn't need to be on the internet.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to cut her off because she's a wonderful person.
I don't know how to cut her off.
I'll do
we'll
it for you.
We'll take care of that, Vanessa. You have a wonderful evening. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, the other day when Fight the Flat Earth had that guy on his channel, or that girl on his channel, and she started to me it sounded like she started bawling. I was like, cut that shit off, Fight, because Like, that's not what we're here to do. We're not here to
Right.
make people cry on camera, you know, or on audio. And she's like,
I
I'm not
almost
crying. And I'm
am.
like, are you fucking kidding me? You are fucking balling your dick off, girl.
I
Yeah, it
almost
sounded like she was getting
has
choked
to
up a little
come in.
bit.
So, all right, Brenda, do you mind a question from Jose?
Oh, okay.
So he's saying something about streams getting flagged, and it's kind of on topic here. And specifically his stream and Modern Day Debates and Ranty.
Yeah.
Do you want to address that?
What? Well, I don't know what the question is. I have flagged streams for what I consider good reason. When people dead name me, which is not public information, that means that person had to do real research. Then that gets flagged.
You mean dox you?
No, I don't mean dox. I mean dead name.
I don't know what that means.
Well, I'm trans, which means I changed my name legally about 20 years ago, which means that the person who did that did some real digging into personal information, and I wanted that video removed.
I see. Okay.
And as far as any of the others, yeah, I have flagged many of Nathan's videos because he's abusive, and I flagged him. And I flagged Ranty because he spreads antivirus misinformation and conspiracy theories. And I flagged Modern Day Debates because they had a Nazi, not a pretend Nazi, not a fake Nazi, but a real Nazi who was calling everybody in the chat pedophiles. And so that was the person named Jesus is Lord. He was a Nazi. And his buddies in the chat, which is several other people, were all calling everybody else in the chat pedophiles. They're making accusations of pedophilia against people in the chat. And I feel I have a duty and an obligation to flag channels when that happens, because YouTube doesn't want that on their platform. YouTube does not want anti-vaxxers on their platform, and they don't want Nazis on their platform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. So like I had a debate with set up with Flat Earth Aussie Roscoe, and I decided it was penciled in actually, but I decided not to do it because he's I don't know if I think Nazi might be too strong of a term, but he certainly is.
No, the person I'm thinking of.
Yeah, somebody
else.
The
person I'm thinking of was specifically asked, "Are you a Nazi?" He said, "Yes, I am."
Wow. That's scary.
Well, whether it's scary or not, YouTube does not want that kind of content on their platform.
Absolutely.
That's all.
Yeah, I get it. Makes total sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, sorry. So there's that. Yeah. Certainly. There's opinions on that, whether or not something should be flagged or not. Yeah. I don't like that.
You sign a contract. You sign a contract with YouTube when you join. There are terms of service
to not
There's
violate
community
their terms,
standards. Yeah. But not only that, you. I think have an obligation because they want to know material that is not fit for that is fit only for adult viewing and not fit for children. YouTube and not fit for advertisers. There's content on YouTube that is permitted to be on YouTube, but they don't want their advertisers to have ads on that. So if you put content out there that is too far, goes too far, it's the advertisers who rule YouTube, and the advertisers do not want their products associated with channels that have content that they don't approve of.
Right. And it also brings me back to that last debate that you had the other day with that one guy, that one Hispanic guy. I don't even want to say his name, and he threw out that word. and I was like, oh my gosh, he's just making that's wrong. That was wrong. I felt
Yeah,
bad. I'm like,
Simon.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
they're always that way. I deal with that on a daily basis.
Yeah.
right, but it's just it was definitely like completely uncalled for, and I'm all like, this guy is literally like, I felt like that guy was making Hispanics look bad, like completely. I'm like, we are all not like that, please. You know, I'm like, please don't, like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I have to just kind of address things like that personally, because
Oh,
we're not all like that. I may
well, no, of
dress
course
like
not.
that, but I don't act like that. You know, I try to be as respectful and as nice as I possibly can, you know, especially to someone who is inviting me on their channel, on their platform, regardless. You know what I mean? So I just feel like, you know, if I'm being invited, if I'm being told to do something, I'm not gonna, I mean, maybe, you know, like, yeah, sometimes it's okay when if people like don't get offended by calling each other idiots or whatever, and that's fine. I get that. But when you throw out kind of like extremely derogatory words like that, that's not cool.
Well,
I just
in the flat Earth, on flat Earth, especially like on Nathan's, that's like a daily occurrence.
really,
Yeah. So
I don't really watch his videos, only because I feel like I don't want to give them that kind of advertisement money, you know.
Well,
But I
Nathan Oakley is extremely abusive,
Yeah.
graphically sexually abusive.
wow, yeah, see,
It's Nathan's abuse is sexual abuse of people that come in there. He constantly makes sexual comments about globe earthers that come in, and he's extremely abusive to them. Yeah, all the time, every single. And I've told Nathan, I said, I am flagging your channel for XYZ because he
mhm,
makes sexually inappropriate, abusive remarks towards globe earthers or anybody that he doesn't like, and I flag him and I tell him I'm flagging him.
mhm.
I thought hopefully by now his channel would get taken down or his videos would get taken down, but it's had no effect. But I think that I'm in the right, at least for Nathan Oakley, because of how extreme he is. But it doesn't have any effect.
So, for
yeah,
you got
can I speak? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no. Go ahead, team. I'm looking up.
I was just
something
gonna speak on that because, you know, Brenda's somebody I respect. I've been doing this online thing with Brenda for a while.
I don't know
mean,
why.
I don't know, right? Me neither. But I do actually take the opposite position. And I do want to say that there's nothing wrong with Brenda holding the position she does, because YouTube doesn't just say, oh, somebody flagged a video, let's take it down. No, that's not how it goes. The flagging of a video makes YouTube aware of something that they should check out. YouTube then has to go and check it out, and if they feel like it is a violation of terms and service, that's when action gets taken. As she's probably at times thought that Nathan was violating a terms of service agreement, where YouTube looked at it and said probably not, or you know, not in this situation. Or go ahead.
I don't know what else to do.
Well, no, and I'm saying, yeah, you're perfectly within your right to do that. I don't personally do that to other people's channels unless I feel like there's a direct threat to human health. I usually just challenge the idea. Like, I usually just prove how wrong they are, versus, but that's just my personal opinion on how I do it. You know, I don't expect everybody to be like me, you know.
Absolutely. And yeah, but it's also very good to know, like, you know, just the certain guidelines. Of course, you're, you know, trying to uphold. Like I said, I kind of want to be in this area to, you know, I actually literally, like, not too long ago, I spent the last of my money trying to get a hold of Team Skeptic, just so I can say, hey, dude, I'm really just interested in all this stuff, but I don't really want to do like the debates and stuff like that, because I'm not, you know, I don't think I'm intelligently inclined to do stuff. I just really want to do like science.
You're talking about flat earthers here.
I mean,
are intelligently inclined.
These are people. This is a group of people who have personality disorders.
Right, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, because I'm not. I dropped out in the 10th grade, And I did wind up getting my GED, but I haven't really done nothing with it. And I feel like that's something that was a very, very big mistake that I have done. And I'm trying to take responsibility for it. And, people always tell me you're never too old to learn. And actually watching a lot of these videos helps me learn, because it's teaching me in a way that I can actually learn, because my teachers, I felt like they weren't doing, the best job that they could do, which, it's fine. I get that. Sometimes they just get exhausted, but like, just like I said, learning, just learning from satire, and just, you guys just purvey the information, to me, as an actual person, just that's just the way I feel like I connected to it. And that's why I feel like, what, maybe, I may and or may not be able to become a teacher, but you know what I can do while I still have my eyesight? I can just chop science experiments. I can try to learn how to do some of these math equations, so that, because a lot of the things that I heard from a lot of flat earthers is do it yourself, look for yourself. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. You have to kind of do it yourself. And yeah, I get it. And sometimes, and another one that I believe is, like, everyone says, Google it. I get that. I get the Google it part. And sometimes I'll try to watch YouTube videos, but sometimes it just doesn't dawn on me like that all the time. Like, I feel like I have to, like, try to figure it out, and then I'll have to go back to this and try to do that. And, sometimes if I can just get, some way to, have it kind of explained to me in a way. And like I said, if I'm posting a video or something, or if I'm going live trying to do math equations, and someone says, you're not doing it correctly, I'm very accepting of constructive criticism, and that's just so I really definitely, like I said, I want to learn this stuff, because this stuff I'm actually interested in. And as a matter of fact, the way that I actually came across these kinds of videos was because I was watching lectures and seminars on, like, black holes and dark matter and stuff like that. And yeah, I don't really get the mathematics of it, but I get the premise and the science of it. And then they gave me a Professor Dave video, recommended me. So I watched that, and then a modern day debate came on with him and Kent Hovind, and all that other stuff. And then that's when I started actually kind of looking into this. I'm like, is this for real? Like, are these people really, like, going on these videos saying this kinds of stuff? Like, are you serious? And then like I said, I started watching Team Skeptics videos and Flight to Flat Earth videos, and I'm all like, oh, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe there's actually, like, real people, doing this stuff. And then
I can say that I do appreciate you watching my videos first before Fight the Flat Earth. That means a lot.
Well, they're both good. They're both well educated, and there's, you can learn from them. You can learn from either of them. You can learn from others too, like Bob the Science Guy, or Blue Marble Science, or AB Science, or Professor Dave.
MC Cartoon.
You could learn from him.
Right.
MC Toon, you could learn from, and I could learn from, in how to have a debate with somebody who is completely off the rails, and yet you never lose your cool. That's something I could learn from.
I'm going to tell you something about Toon, and this is legit. I'm not going to try to be funny. I mean, I might throw a joke in it too, but right now I'm going to try to be as serious as I possibly can, which is obviously not that serious. But when I watch MC Toon, I take mental note. He has a way of dealing with, like you said, people who are willfully ignorant or intellectually dishonest. He has a way of bringing that to the forefront and really showcasing their lack of honesty.
I have to double that. I have to confirm that's exactly the same thing I did. I've seen MC Toon debate Bev, the parallel lines guy, and that was an exercise in frustration. But I don't know how in the hell you didn't just yell at it.
I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how you guys do it at all. Like,
I yell, so unfortunately.
I mean, it's like dealing with children. It's like dealing with children sometimes, and it's like, oh my gosh,
petulant children, not just children, but like, petulant children.
Petulant children, yeah. I mean, and it's just like I said, you guys like, I mean, it still has to be some sort of like patience into it. And like I said, and like joining this, I believe I'm kind of joining this community and trying to learn. So I've actually been in touch with people like Irish Demon and Crafty Keela and stuff like that. I was on a couple of I was on two of Irish Demon's live streams recently, and we've just been kind of talking about all this stuff, and and it's so the community to me is really like amazing, because to me it's like they got 1,000 subs. Like I can't, like, to me that's 1,000 people that may or may not actively listen all the time, but that's still 1,000 people that are just subscribed to them. Even if it's just to support them, it's just 1,000 people. That's amazing to me. But like,
Well,
personally, if I get just one person to just like sit there and kind of just watch my videos, and even dissecting them by saying, hey, you're not doing this correctly, and trying to actually try to help me so that I can help other people. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like, and that's why I said I just respect all of you guys, and I try to like
well,
I sometimes I'll be like, oh man, you guys are stars. Like
All right.
the other day, like I think
Hey,
it was like a
keep talking. I got to investigate something here at home.
absolutely
all right.
everything's all right. But yeah, so I mean, like I was saying, like that's just like, this community has just amazed me, and this is actively making me feel like, I don't have a lot of money as well, you know what I'm saying, but I feel like I can just look up experiments that'll kind of prove and also show me the mathematics of all this stuff, and so that I can determine on how to do all these things myself, not to like necessarily debunk, but like to show that anybody can do this stuff, anybody and everybody, if you have the power to do it, absolutely. And
Well,
this is
I think that you could uh, connect with or hook up with, I don't know who, but certainly several people in the Globe community would be more than there. A lot of them are basically
The
retired.
tree in our front
engineers.
yard fell down, so I'll be back in a second.
oh no,
Holy shit!
it's crazy. Like,
There's people in the community that would be more than happy. They're retired engineers or unemployed engineers, and they'd be more than happy to help you out. And of course,
yeah,
there's
absolutely.
other resources.
Right, exactly.
Charisma.
And, I'm
Charisma.
trying
That's
to get
all it takes. It just
right,
takes charisma. Make people laugh.
absolutely. And like I said, this is gonna make me want to go back to school before I feel like I'm gonna lose my eyesight soon. I want to go back to school, and I'm actually like on the mix of trying to get a telescope, just to do all these certain things that I really want to do before anything that I won't be able to do, and stuff like that. And just also, by the way, Team
Are
Skeptic,
you're
you guys,
losing your eyesight?
yeah, this eye is completely gone.
No.
Yeah, but
Well,
I just want to say
yeah.
to Team Skeptic, thank you for your services. And my brother's a Marine, and so I feel like I don't have to, but I actively want to thank anybody who has served in any form of armed services, like Fight the Flat Earth. Even you guys, like that's just me. You guys fight for our country, and that's something that you guys deserve, is us civilians showing you the proper respect. You know what I mean? And that,
Yeah.
that's just all I really want to say.
I'll take Fight's thanks from you, and I'm sure I'll give it to him at some point.
Right.
But
So
yeah, no, it was my honor. I truly enjoyed being in the military. That
yeah,
was,
I mean, my brother says
something that
the same thing.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, my brother says the same thing. Like he did this by himself. He knew what he was getting into, and like my father wasn't really around. And I guess once my brother graduated boot camp, he had a party in California, and my father was there. And my father said, I'm proud of you and stuff. And he was like, I didn't do this for you. I did this for me, and I did this for me wanting to do what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? And for our country and for us, I didn't do this for you specifically to be proud of me, but I wanted to do this so that I can show myself, give myself a camaraderie. And I know that, the different kind of military places, or not places, like the Air Force and the Marines, they all have kind of a different point of view on different things, because I watched him and my cousin who was in the army, they kind of just talk crap to each other all the time. So it's like a camaraderie. And it's just very respectable, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And I'm just really glad that you guys actually give me the opportunity to speak to you guys. And this, like I said, this is really making me want to push forward to just keep.
You
keep
should,
active.
man. Like I said, there's enough room on this trampoline for everybody to jump up and down and have a good time.
Absolutely. But I do have I have a
buy a
question.
telescope and look and see the rings of Saturn or or Jupiter with your own eyes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely.
The Orion Nebula, because like I said,
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of money, and I don't make a lot of money. And even when I do this, I'm not gonna try to monetize, just because I don't want people to feel that way. But I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to do it, because I also believe that if you're good at doing something, never do it for free, just like the Joker says.
Yeah, but one thing you could do is there might be if there's things you want to see astronomically, there's probably an astronomy club near you. And if you told them, hey, I'm losing my eyesight, I would like to see some things before my eyesight goes with my own eyes, I'm sure they would be happy to just invite you out some evening and let you look into the eyepiece and see some nebula or whatever that you want to see. I'm sure
Right.
they would.
And I'm gonna try to save up some money to go to Hawaii, to go to the Keck telescope. Want to go there, definitely. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I was just starting to get into science a whole lot, and just like I said, the community that you guys are providing is actually helping me out. Yeah, I mean, for me, like, sometimes, like I said, you guys are deal with really, really, like you said, intellectually dishonest. Am I correct in saying that? People.
Yeah, they're con artists and people with personality disorders or developmental issues.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, guys, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut y'all off, but I really got to get going, man. I hate to leave you guys with such a good conversation, but I think it's just
I'm back.
perfect
Thank
time
you
for me to leave.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, team. Appreciate your input on this and the rest of the time here.
Yeah, I'm sorry for grandstanding earlier, but I mean I feel strongly about this whole thing, and it's so, but I do want to tell you guys, yeah, we're talking about the riots that are going on. But Brenda, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a pleasure to know you as long as I have, and it's the hangouts are few and far between, but I always feel like I got somebody over there that's a friend. So thank you for being that friend. And Isaiah, I didn't say it. Did I say it right? Isaiah.
Issa's cool. Issa.
Okay, Issa. It was a pleasure meeting you, man. And yeah, definitely look forward to you on the next interacting with you on the next live stream. Go ahead.
Hopefully, man. I will be there.
All right, and MC Toon, I love you, bro, but I got to get going. You have a great rest of your stream, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, man. Later.
See you later.
Yeah,
Tree didn't take anything out, did it?
All right, so yeah, on the screen right now is a tree. So got about as lucky as you could get. That tree is a box elder, and it's old. Last summer, I had someone come and cut off all the branches that were up over our house, and so it went down. We had some storms earlier today, and it fell on our driveway, and it brushed the back end of my son's car, and I think it looks like it's all good. So but they're saying oh yeah, everybody's okay. But of course, with all the rioting in Minneapolis, we hear my wife heard a big boom, and she's like, what was that? So
yeah, like I was saying, here in Vegas, me and my mom were having a chat, and she said that there was a Hispanic man who shot a police officer, and it like that. I just feel like stuff like that is terrible. Like, I mean, I like me. We did have a conversation where she was like, I don't understand why people riot. And I said, right, to me, rioting is not is you know, violence begets violence is never really a good thing. You know what I mean? But I told her, but sometimes people, you know, will are just going to be so angry at the system that they feel like they have to show just gonna say quote unquote the man, you know, it's not really, you know what I mean, um, you know, who's boss kind of thing. Like, hey, if you guys can't control your own people, you know what I mean, your own people who are supposed to authoritize this stuff, then we're not gonna stand it, because I believe people are gonna be using this like, oh well, this guy killed this police officer killed the man, so it's gonna be okay for me to do it. You know, there might be trials that are gonna be like that. You know, and that's like, I believe that we do need some sort of law, you know, some sort of order at least, so that we can keep our
Well,
society together. You know.
of course we need order. It looks like that tree broke right at about a foot off of the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
That must be a rotten tree, because usually what happens is you get a strong wind and it pulls it up the roots too, right?
Yeah,
that's what usually happens. I'm thinking that the trunk was rotten.
Yeah, and we knew it was rotten. That's why I had it all. The stuff in front. Oh, I made your thing go. The stuff in front of the that was over our house had it all cut off last year. So.
Wow, well, I trimmed trees with my ex-girlfriend's father for like 6 or 7 years. So yeah, I mean that like our backyard is full of crap like that too, but we have China berries, so they're very brittle.
Okay.
So
I don't even know what China berry is, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know what that is either.
Right. I mean, like I said, I worked with this man who trimmed trees. So he's just like, oh, that's a fruitless mulberry, and I'm just like, it's like a tree to me, and stuff like that. But
box elders are not the most solid wood. They're a soft wood.
No, it's pretty weak. But
yeah,
it now there's a family of squirrels that are now homeless.
Oh, I'm sure they'll find a place under your roof.
Yes, that's. We did have some red squirrels. I took care of them. They're the worst. They are no more.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, here in Vegas, I don't think we really had squirrels, but in California, I was in a diabetic camp, and I used to pull around a little fake chipmunk. And because we used to see a whole lot of chipmunks in the camp, and I'm just like, I've never seen a squirrel, I've never seen a chipmunk ever before in my life. And then I just seen them, and I was just like, wow, those are chipmunks, those are squirrels, those are real. This one's fake. But just yeah, like I said, I love this community. You guys are just amazing. I think the other day I seen a live stream, and there was just a whole bunch of people, conspiracy cats, crafty Keela, I'm pretty sure Irish Demon was in there, drunken, like it was just a whole bunch of people, and I'm like, dang, there's like nothing but stars in here, because I'm sitting there and I'll literally sit and watch everyone's YouTube videos, you know, from debates to just content that they just make, and I'm just like, you know, I'm just fascinated by this whole community, and everybody is being extremely acceptive, you know, of me, because no one's making me feel like an idiot, you know, no one's making me feel, you know, terrible for my own mistakes, you know. Everyone's just like, you know what, you're never too old to learn, and that's kind of like the thing I want to show other people. And you know, like I said, inspiration from you guys, just it's just wanted to point all that out.
Yeah. All right, so people are asking, what am I watching here? So this is the link that came from Vanessa, who was on earlier. This is apparently this is Baltimore. There was some some stuff that spilled over into a residential area or something, and people got run over. So yeah, not quite sure what's going on there. My wife sent me this. This is tough. In the last 96 hours, Las Vegas police officer shot in the back of the head while struggling with a rioter. Somebody in Las Vegas opened fire in a courthouse. 4 St. Louis officers were shot by an active shooter. A New York police officer struck by a vehicle. 3 Buffalo law enforcement officers struck by a vehicle in front of the police station. 3 Davenport law enforcement officers ambushed and 1 was shot. 132 officers injured in Chicago. 9 Pittsburgh officers injured. Some in Rhode Island. Somebody shooting at Oakland Police Department. 2 officers hit in the head in Santa Ana.
That was where I was born.
Oh my God. It keeps going. I mean, it's just in Minneapolis, where I'm at, 21 officers injured in riots.
Yeah, it seems a little one-sided there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I mean, yeah, like everybody's been saying. But I actually did kind of have a conversation with a friend. We were talking about this, and they said we had a huge influx of hiring certain, just a bunch of officers, within a certain amount of time, because we I don't know what was going on. We just needed more officers. I couldn't confirm this because we just had a chat about it. I didn't know. So I was just like, well, and she was just like, well, maybe, it's just trying to find, do background checks or something's going on.
No, there needs to be structural changes, because the problems are structural. We have a system that doesn't punish officers who are step outside the bounds, and therefore they have a tendency to think that they have permission. We have a culture in the United States which is explicitly racist, and which is race. And we have white supremacists. We have white supremacists coming into Minneapolis from the outside, who are causing and have been caught and ID'd, and those are people who are causing some of the destruction. So it's a bigger problem than just hiring. It's a systemic problem, and one that needs to be changed by changes to the law that don't allow officers to use excessive force. And we also need to demilitarize the police. The police don't need to be traveling down suburban streets in Bradley vehicles shooting residents who are on the porch, which has happened in Minneapolis. You don't need military vehicles going down suburban streets shooting people, which they've done.
So what was the context of that?
They were going down the street telling people to get inside.
Wow.
And so then they shot the camera.
It's paintball.
People.
Paintball gun.
Yeah. Huh? Paintball. Well,
yeah,
I don't know if it was paintball. Was it a rubber bullet or a paintball?
It was paintball.
Was it paintball?
They have been using paintballs, because it you can see then, right? If you hit somebody with a paintball, you can see them, because they'll use a bright color.
Mm-hmm.
They do use rubber bullets and beanbags too.
Yeah.
And the rubber bullets are actually steel coated in rubber.
Wow, I didn't know any of that. That's the thing. Like,
there's plenty of stories of people, and there's quite a few of them, who have suffered greatly at the hands of violent encounters with the police, right? So this is the problem. The problem is that the police are overly militarized, and they are, and we live in what is, I can only say is it's veering towards a very authoritarian kind of militaristic situation, and people don't want that, and they're
So,
rebelling against that.
Yeah, but at the same time, it can be pretty hard because, I mean, like you said, people. There's also the rioters. You know, the riot. Like
Yeah, I don't
how
agree with.
hard do you have to control? You know, it does have to be like, it has to be pretty difficult just to try to, because from what I seen from some of the news was that, you know, some of the police didn't agree with some of the, you know, with how they handled the
Yeah,
situation. Like,
part of the problem is the training, and specifically what's called warrior training, which trains police to be overreactive, and we shouldn't have that kind of training.
all right.
But
here
people
we have.
did, and that's wrong.
I have the
And I
video.
think rioting is wrong. I think rioting is wrong, but protests are okay.
So here's the video on the live stream. You two will have to look at the live stream to see it. This is the video of the person who had the whatever shot
That's
at
a
them
Bradley.
on the porch.
That's a Bradley vehicle, isn't it? Isn't that what that's called?
No, that's a Humvee.
I thought they were called Bradley vehicles. I don't know.
No, that's a Humvee there.
Well, it's a military. That's a military vehicle,
Yeah.
isn't it? So why are military vehicles on the streets?
to just probably to like try, I guess, impose authority, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Hold on
Yeah,
a second here. We're
that'll do it.
listening.
That'll do it. Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I personally, either way, it's wrong. I just don't believe in the violence whatsoever at all. Period. But sometimes there's no way, you don't know what to do, and you know, once these riots start happening,
hold on a second here.
People start. Oh,
All right. So
Okay.
that
That's a
was
paintball.
Yeah, that was paintball. So, yeah, that's not a Bradley vehicle. That was looked like it was from. Oops. Hold
Desert
on a
Storm.
second. All right. That was so the Minnesota National Guard is involved. So that's the vehicles they have.
mhm.
So, you know, when you look at what happened, so how do you stop the looting and the rioting and the damaging of stuff? And you know, in Minneapolis on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they didn't do anything basically, and the police station was overrun and burned, and the post office was overrun and burned, and over 400 fires, and those nights nobody showed up to put out the fires. They couldn't even come in because they as soon as they come in, that there's people everywhere and they don't leave the streets. And you know, what do you do to deal with that? And on Saturday here, they brought in. So this was on Saturday night, I think. They brought in the National Guard and people that were not that were outside after curfew and advancing on the line of guards were hit with paintballs and rubber bullets and beanbags and tear gas, and not as much damage happened on Saturday night. So what is the solution? Certainly whatever happened Friday, Saturday, or sorry, a Thursday and Friday, that wasn't working.
Well, not doing anything doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what
Absolutely.
they were doing nothing.
Unless that's what you want.
Yeah, I mean,
I
like I said,
don't
it's not. It couldn't be. It couldn't be some. I couldn't be something like up to me. All I personally can do is, you know, stay in my home. As much as I really, really, really do want to, you know, go out there with the people to, you know, just help share their, you know, their feelings about all this. You know, from what I believe, I that's something that I can't do. So all these riots and all these looting stuff isn't helping the peaceful protest that may need to be done.
No, I don't. I agree. I don't think that rioting is good. I don't think that's a good thing. I think protests are good.
Absolutely.
And I think that people are protesting. They have a right to protest because they're really upset. I think the rioting, yeah, I think the rioting is bad, but I think it's kind of understandable in the sense that people feel like they are not included in the democracy, that they are not, they're being systematically oppressed and discriminated against and are the targets of police brutality. And the incident that started this was just one incident, but it's a culmination of many, and people genuinely feel like they're just not part of the society, that they're being singled out and targeted. And from what I've heard from quite a lot of people in the past few days, from people of color, it tends to reinforce that, in my view, because I've heard story after story of people who have suffered horrific abuse at the hands of the police in ways that they never visit on white people. And so it is color-based, and it is systematic and pervasive, and it needs to stop. And people want it to stop, and and the political structures are unresponsive because we have a literal white supremacist, probably a fascist, in office.
Don't get me started on
Donald Trump and his group
we're not
are
get
white
that deep into
supremacist
politics.
fascists.
All right, we're not going to get that deep into politics here.
Yeah.
So I have
I have absolutely nothing to say.
so I have here I put this on my I uploaded 3 videos today. The first one got taken down by YouTube for terms and conditions. It was just somebody's recording from Facebook from downtown during the riots and stuff. And this here is the same guy, and this, I believe, is in the post office right here. So you'll have to watch on the streams here.
Yeah, I get kind of a little delay.
So
yeah, that's not cool.
This is when you do nothing. You get this. These are just kids. They don't even know how to drive. They eventually do get a couple cars out here.
Whoa.
Just for no reason. They're just attacking.
Yeah, that's not cool.
This isn't protest.
And I have to say, MC, that you altered my mind and my opinion on that incident with the paintball, because I didn't know it was a paintball, and so the information that you gave me just changed my position on that a little bit.
Well, that's good. That's good.
But I do want, I do have a point of view, and my point of view is, it comes from a more liberal end, which is that I'm really very concerned about the direction the country's going in. And it seems to me like, there's that famous meme from Archer, which is, do you want ants? Because this is how you get ants. And that was, you leave donuts out, you leave food out, and dirty food, and you don't clean up, you get ants. Well, when you have the kind of government we've been having, you get riots. You want riots, then that's what you do. That's what happens when you don't do the things that you should do, which is be responsive to the people. And I think so. I think it's so in
Wow.
a deterministic world, actions have consequences, including when you have an abusive a militaristic police force. Then you're going to get the reaction to that.
Yeah, this isn't these people aren't complaining about the militaristic police force. That's not what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They're
nope.
just a bunch of
They're
brats
just
out wrecking stuff because they won't get in trouble.
Well, that's true.
So then now I guess it's time to determine exactly. I mean, like when is it? It's never. I don't believe it's okay to do this. But I mean,
well, I agree that society needs orders. It needs police. It needs a structure and stuff. But I think that the solution to the current problem is a structural change in particularly in how police are trained, the training that police receive, and the instructions that they receive. Those kinds of things. There needs to be a change. It needs to be kind of a systemic change in the attitude.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. This is insane. This is crazy. But, and yeah, I mean, I think that it should absolutely stop. I mean, but I think I'm gonna take off, you guys. I thank you so much, MC Tune, and thank you for the idea of the Rubik's Cube, man. I honestly, I seen you playing with it, and I'm just like, oh crap, I think I want to get me one. Since I'm in here, I'm gonna learn how to do it, and I've actually been playing around with it a whole lot. So,
So you got one?
Yeah, I got me one. I wound up getting me one, and I'm like thinking to myself, like, damn it, thanks. Oh, sorry, dang it, thanks, MC Tune. But no, but thank you for having me on. Absolutely, Brenda. It was very good to meet you guys. Thank you guys. Like I said, thank you. You guys as content creators you guys are amazing.
I'm not a content creator.
Well,
I'm just an idiot. I'm just an idiot that debates flat earthers. I mean, this is the bottom of the barrel. These people don't understand even like elementary school science.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'll take off, man. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it again, and thank you for giving me a voice.
Yeah, thanks for coming. And what was let me get your name right. Isa?
Just Isa.
Isa.
Like
Isa. All right. Glad to have you, Isa.
All right. Thanks, guys. Hopefully see you on stream one day, or on in one of my videos. Maybe we'll try to do an interview and stuff.
Ooh, Heat Shield. Do you know Heat Shield? He wants to teach you some tricks about cubing. There you go.
Oh, there we go. All right. I'll post my Gmail, and we can just get a hold of me through there for right now, and then move along from there. All right. Hey.
So this is, let's see, I'll get up gotta find the right scene here. There we go. So they burned a 6-story, this was Wednesday night, a 6-story affordable housing apartment building that was almost done being built. This is that video there.
Where is that? Or was it?
That's right across the street from the police station, the 3rd precinct.
That's in Uptown?
No, it's on Lake Street. Lake and near Lake and Hiawatha. So let's see. Yeah, and
okay.
Latoya Bailey, do you have any vids of the tens of thousands we are peacefully protesting? Those are kids. No one condones looting. There are many opinions, and are there any opinions from black folks? So yeah, so I did get Vanessa, who's mixed, on. I invited guy who GQ Live, but I don't know if he even got my message. I sent him a message on both Instagram and just commented on one of his videos, but I haven't heard back.
Well, it is a thorny issue, isn't it, MC?
Oh yeah.
And I find myself in this stream, it seems like I'm a little bit to the left of some people, but in a lot of the places that I go,
Okay.
I'm not on the left. I'm not on the left in a lot of the other places that I go to. Uh-oh.
No, keep going.
Ooh, I'm in control now. Ooh, okay. Yeah, in a lot of the spaces that I go to, I am definitely to the right of some people, because there's some people that want to bring it all down. They want to bring society down, and they want a I'm not really sure. They're ANCOMs or something like that, and that's what they would like, and they want to get rid of all police. They want to end all police, and that's just crazy as far as I'm concerned. So I find myself stuck in the middle with a lot of people. I'm a little bit to the left of center, but I'm certainly not all the way to the left, and I'm certainly not on the right. And it's a very sticky situation to be in, because people are on there's people on far ends that are very vocal, and I don't agree with either of them.
Oh, I heard the whole thing. So my wife was shaken from the tree, so she's asking for a hug. So, I have. All right, so let me get back to thanks for filling in, Brenda, while I was there.
So I am politically. I would call myself a progressive Democrat. I would not by any means call myself on the left. I'm not a Marxist by any means, and so I get caught in the middle here often between, and it seems to me like we only hear extreme voices from the very far right or the very far left anymore, and it almost seems like there isn't much room for people who go. I wouldn't call myself a centrist at all. I'm very much a liberal.
Yeah. All right. I want to address Latoya's thing. Yeah. So if there's any MCTune at mctune.net, if anybody, any black folk want to put in their thoughts. And then somebody was asking, are any of the peaceful protests? Absolutely. I did get a few of those. So there's one that in the background is the Wells Fargo building. It's just about as tall as the IDS Tower, so it's almost the tallest building in Minnesota. I love this picture, the colorful Bob Dylan there, and it's cutting off the bottom. Let me fix that a little bit. It's not meant to cut off the bottom. Brenda, you've been downtown and seen the...
I have been downtown.
Yeah.
Years ago, when I played guitar, I performed at the coffee house that Bob Dylan performed at on the West Bank.
That's cool. What?
It was just a crappy little coffee house. There was nothing special about it. It's gone now.
Okay. There we go. So yeah, this is peaceful protesting. It's during the day, and they weren't hurting stuff. That's the right stuff here. So here is right across from the Gay 90s. It's over on the right. you can't really see. Can't see it in this picture there. It's off picture, but that's on Hennepin Avenue, the big street downtown there. Vanessa says she'd like to come back for an interview as well. That'd be great. Let's do that. Ilya wants to interview you, so she gets dibs. I sent your Ilya's email address, so respond to that. Rest in power, it says there. I got a really nice. There's a mural. Some people made this awesome mural, and I'll get that one. Here's just people just sitting, and what is this building here? Do you know, Brenda?
Well, that's the police station downtown.
Is it? Okay.
Great. It's a great redstone building, right?
Yeah. I
made of the same kind of. I think that stone comes from the southwest corner. There used to be if I remember correctly, there's a specific type of red limestone from southeastern Minnesota that has been used to make like the lumber building downtown.
Kasota stone.
I think so.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yep. There's some more marching down. I don't know what street that is there. Marquette maybe. But yeah, not.
Well, it's got the rails there, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's Fifth. Yep.
Yeah, I don't agree with the destruction and stuff. I don't like that.
Yeah. This is good stuff. Oh, here's another good one. And Minneapolis has a lot of skyways. You can go miles and miles almost in the skyways. My wife had jury duty, and so I went down there with the kids, all 33 of them. We dropped her off to do jury duty, and then we spent the day in the skyways. It was cold and rainy, so we didn't go outside. We went everywhere in the skyways. Let's see, I have a few more. That won't play. That's not going to play. This one. All right, I'll get this. This is worth it. So this is a people walking. There you go. That was yesterday or today or something, or the day before. I mean, they are kind of in the way of traffic, but it's a proper protest, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So, that's I got a bunch of stuff, just kind of random things. I don't think I need to bring up any more kind of uncool stuff. I think ending on some good. Let me get that in front of the police station. That was a nice one. There it is. Before kind of wrapping this up here a little bit, I haven't gotten any more messages from anybody saying they wanted to come in, so I gotta undo the the window capture, get the correct one. So Brenda, I think if well, all the COVID-19 stuff is makes it difficult, but I think oops, wrong one there. I think maybe we should try to get all the everybody in the community together, even the, I don't know, maybe if there's any flat earthers that are worth talking to. Oh, Latoya says, wait, I'm on the phone. Okay. So maybe Latoya wants to come in. That'd be good. You got a few people in Minneapolis here that we maybe get together sometime. George Natchik called me. I don't know if he made it back yet or not. He was going to come back from Colorado, and maybe we were going to meet up, but of course it makes it difficult with the restrictions. Oh yeah,
they're supposed to be over today, right? They were through to the end of tonight, right?
Latanya, sorry. What was supposed to be through tonight?
My understanding was that the curfew was effective today to the end of the day. So if it's after midnight, so they should be off now. From what I recall. Well, there was a curfew where you weren't supposed to be out after 10 or something.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah, I think, that's in response to keeping things under control. So how I was a little busy tonight. I don't know how much trouble there was this today. All right, let's see. Oh, there we go. From Latanya. I want to get that name right. So, all right, I'm going to send a invite to her. There we go. Let me read a couple super chats here. Make sure there were a few that I kind of missed. Spike Smith. Or is it Spike's Math or Spike's Meth? Don't know. Says
kind of a difference there. Kind of a difference.
Says thanks for the guest for sharing her story. That's Vanessa. Yeah, again, thank you, Vanessa. Great story. I'm great. Painful too. It's just good to hear and let you have a chance. Jose, we got you there. We got Latanya again. Says Brenda on the money, not feel R. So the context I think was maybe a little missing there. Talked about Latanya's the peaceful protests. And then she says again, it's not left or right, it's about equality. Yeah, absolutely. It's people are political. People get political, but I don't think it needs to be.
Well, I'm very much in favor of all the structures that we have, which is a representative democracy with liberal, as in politically liberal, meaning not having a king or a queen. That's what liberal means. In the broad sense, liberal means not a dictator, not a king, not a tyrant. It means representative democracy. That's what I want. And there's people that don't want that. There's people that want something else.
Renee Enemy says, you can call me Latoya any day of the week, sexy man. JK.
Okay.
Correct. JK. So Latanya's asking, says, I have no idea what I'm doing. So Zoom will work without installing any apps if you have a desktop computer in Chrome. If you're on mobile, you do need to install the Zoom application and probably create an account. So if depending on your situation there, you can also do install the app on your desktop. So
you're gonna have to hire somebody to chop up that tree.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, the guy that trimmed it before, I might. I have an electric chainsaw because normally you can do that when you live in the city. You just need branches about that big to be cut, but I don't think my electric chainsaw is going to quite reach through the trunk.
That's pretty thick. That's pretty thick.
Let me get on camera. It's giant. So yeah, I will send my arborist. He's my chainsaw guy an email tonight.
And if it is down, there could still be pressure points, and it could even if you don't know, even if it's down like that, you could hit a pressure point where it would release and kick out out the chainsaw and stuff like that. Could be.
So Latanya, it's in the email that I sent. It's got the meeting ID and the password in it, and I don't really want to put it into the live stream. So yeah, you can grab that. There's a link there. You can just click the link at the top. That's the Zoom link. It starts with US 02web.zoom.us and then a bunch of numbers and letters. So yeah, that tree. I have a feeling I will be not working from home tomorrow. Instead, I'll be working at home tomorrow. Oh. I don't know. It's been intense. It's my wife said the other day, this being in quarantine and everything, it's like a movie, right? Like the kind of movie you don't want to be in. And now it's gone a whole different direction in a movie you don't want to be in.
Well, have you seen that movie Contagion?
Yes.
A lot of that was filmed here.
Yeah?
Well, I've seen the movie, and I can identify a lot of the places that are in the movie.
Should watch it again. What was the one with Dustin Hoffman too?
No, well, yeah, not that. I wasn't thinking of that one. The one with Matt Damon.
Yeah, I haven't seen that lately, but we watched a couple weeks ago. We watched the one with Dustin Hoffman. Like, let's watch that. Pandemic.
That's about the Ebola, isn't it?
It's an Ebola type thing. Yeah, that's fake.
Yeah.
Heat Shield is cautioning me about my electric chainsaw. They're more dangerous than gas.
Really?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know.
They don't have enough power behind the chain. Is that it?
I don't. Well, for what I do, where you're not cutting anything bigger than that, it's whatever. But it's just little stuff. It's so I don't know. It is open. Bumper what? What are you saying? It's not open here, I guess, but I hear you.
Tune email in Discord or on Zoom. I'm special.
What?
She's wondering whether your response came by email or message on Discord.
I sent an email to you. But I can send it here. I see on Discord here. There you go.
Oh, she says she got it. She says she got it now.
Okay, all right, good. Latanya's got caps lock on. So
yeah, I was really impressed with your debate with here she is. Okay, I don't have to fill.
There we go. All right. Oh, it's the ISS. Very nice.
Lies, all lies, CGI.
They hate it. All right, it's getting connected. The flat earthers were all amongst up in their own business about the SpaceX launch.
What's their response to that other than CGI?
Yeah,
They don't
that's all I
have
got.
anything, do they? They don't have anything.
No. So let's see if it's not running, it just might decide to run when something fails. That will never happen with gas. That's true. That's true. It can be plugged in and then just decide to start running. So let's see. The audio's still trying to get connected. Oh, we might have this same problem as before. And we've got who is it? I missed it. Bumper X. Bumper X is asking for the link. Send me a message, either an email or on Discord, and I'll get you the link if you want.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
Hi, guys. Sorry, yes, I'm a bit special. I never do this kind of stuff.
Hey.
How is everybody?
Oh, great. I'm glad to
Can you
have
hear
you
me
on.
okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, Brenda.
Good evening.
And McToons. Pleasure.
Adams, yeah.
Been watching you for a while.
Oh, thank you very much. I never get used to. I'm like, why? I'm just a computer nerd. So, well, all right.
That's
Glad
why
to
I
have
like you. I like your delivery.
Thanks. All right. Glad to have you on. And you had I'd love to hear your opinion on this.
Well, I just want to first get out of the way that no one is condoning any type of violence, and that stuff is just absolutely disgusting, and it absolutely does hurt any type of cause that anyone is trying to do.
Yeah.
And I think that those people should be taken to task and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Now, with that being said, I like to tell everyone a nice little story. It starts in 1619 in a little town right off the coast here on the eastern side of these United States. And ever since then, for good around about 400 years, we have been property, slaves, second-class citizens, and generally, feared and, a people who have been looked at to be worried when you're next to them. I can't tell you how many times that I have been followed in the store myself, personally, or at the time when I was married at the time, my ex-husband had been pulled over, my brothers, my father, any male I can name in my family has experienced this, just because of the color of your skin. This is something you can't wash off. This is something that shouldn't have to be washed off. And after protest after protest after protest, from 1865 of the abolishment of slavery, we had 100 years of Jim Crow, where they were still hanging us from trees. You still had not even the vote. 100 years later, we finally got the vote. And people were dying in the streets then with hoses and getting bit by dogs. And those are peaceful protests as well. So, you've got one man by the name of Colin Kaepernick who chose to do a peaceful protest in the middle of a football game. And people like to get upset about the national anthem. But what little do they know is that has not always been a thing. You don't play the national anthem just at every Joe Blow event. That is something for pride for this country. For we to represent us when we're around the world. That's what that song represents, not to tout football games. And the way that they want to talk about how much pride they have in this country, they desecrate the flag on a regular basis, commercially, corporately. People have no idea what they're talking about, but yet everybody wants to have a say-so about what other people think is appropriate for them to behave, or appropriate way for them to protest, or an appropriate way for them to sit in the back of the bus. And then when it's your turn, go ahead and let it be heard. Well, you know what? That peaceful protest worked great. What happened with that? Not a damn thing. Yeah, you get the right to vote, but what does it do? Now, a 10% of the population that makes up 80% of the prison population is not by accident. Because that would to mean that as black people, that we are less than capable, less than, that means that we can't behave ourselves. That means we're not smart enough to know better. And we need a little bit of help from, white folks, since we don't have it down. There are countless videos on YouTube, countless, of racial discrimination, of people lying, maligning, and all of the under the above. And those are the stories you see, not the ones that you don't hear about. How many stories are coming out now of poor Brianna Joy, who was an EMT, a hardworking citizen, a citizen employee, who was gunned down in her own home because they had the guy locked up already, and one hand don't wash the other on a no-knock warrant, and they bust into her house and her old man starts shooting. Another story of Mr. Aubrey. They try to wash that under the rug. And these are countless, countless, countless stories that I can't even tell you. And there are less egregious crimes than that. But as a citizen of my country, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of all the time. But you know what? I'm a happy person at the same time. And I am ashamed of the way we've gotten. And if racism, we had neo-Nazis walking in Charlottesville. That don't tell y'all nothing. Our president thinks that those are fine people. Where are we supposed to turn when you know that your president is an outright bigot and racist? And that 60 million people voted for. Let's not forget that fact. Okay? And it's not because of change and all this crap, and yes, it is kind of because of change, but the fact that he can even get that far shows the type of country we really live in, about what citizens that they think are important, who they really care about. So, I know that it's hard for a lot of people to, who aren't walking in our shoes to really understand of what it's like, but it's a thing you can't explain. It's just it's not even a thing of like even a man or a woman thing. It's a race. It's your people. It's who you are. It's everything that makes you proud of who you are. The things you find beautiful about yourself that this person in this system hates. And that's a hard thing to overcome as a people. We're still picking up the pieces from all them hundreds of years ago because it's stuff really hasn't never really changed. Little increments here and there. But, I just hope that we have some real civility come out of this and people really start to pay attention and listen. Now is the time. We have done everything possible. We are at the gutter with everything right now. The gutter. And with the situation, with the healthcare situation we have going on, even before that, this country was a tinderbox. People were already out of work. People can't go to the doctor. And then we have a pandemic. Add some more gasoline. And, it's just a perfect storm of folks ready to snap. That's really what it is. People are tired. They're tired. And me as a black individual in this country, no matter how light my skin is, no matter how hard I work, no matter what kind of grades I get, no matter how much money I might have, it doesn't matter at the end of the day because I'm still number two and can never be number one in some people's eyes. And those people are at the top. Those people affect my life, affect me of moving forward and progressing in my life, my family's life, people who look like me's life. And it's not right. And it's not right. And the ones that Martin Luther King Jr. talked about, the white moderate. Yes, you're not racist, but you also don't get up there and stand up and say, hey, you know what, that ain't right. You don't pay attention to who you vote for and who you put in their power. And that goes on both sides. People are ignorant. And then they turn around and complain and wonder why things don't change. Because folks got to get up in the morning and put bread on the table. And next thing you know, day by day, things going on and, life's still rolling. And then, boom, something like this happens. Boom, something else happens. And I really hope that we come out of this with some real hard lessons learned and real change, because honestly, I don't know, I'm in Washington state myself, and we've had some very peaceful protests. We've had several of the police chiefs, local police chiefs, come out in solidarity with the protesters, which has been wonderful. And I have some of those shared on Discord now, and I'll gladly share them later. It's just trying to find some of the civility in, a bunch of punk teenagers. And I mean, you have a big YouTuber, that Paul kid was down there rioting. It's all over YouTube. So what is he doing down there? You think he has a cause down there and his little cronies? No, they don't. They're just down there doing whatever just to make a YouTube video and be knuckleheads and be in the fray. So yes, those people make it look bad, but they're not out there for the cause. They're not even upset about what's going on. I can at least maybe say that some of those younger people might actually be pissed off and don't know how to handle it. Don't maybe have somebody around them guiding them, organizing them to do the right thing. And some people are just knuckleheads. But that is a small fraction of the majority of people who are marching miles into COVID to speak their voice, to speak their truth, to be heard. And I just hope people listen. And that's all I have to say about that. And I'll take questions if anybody has any, and if not, I'll just keep my peace. And thank you for allowing me to speak, Nicktoon. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for coming on, and I'm glad I can give you a place to say that. Again, like when Vanessa was talking, the chat was kind of quiet. I think they're paying close attention. I think it's a good thing. I grew up, in the suburbs and in small town. My Bluetooth is complaining about battery, so hold on. I don't have the perspective, that you do. But let me. All right, I got it connected here. Very good friend of mine. We're at their house a couple times a month. Their kids and my kids are best friends, and in fact, one of their kids is in my house right now, staying overnight.
Yeah, just seen it.
He's black. His wife is white, and so their kids are mixed. He grew up in Chicago, and this got my attention.
Oh, is it?
That he was doing a fundraiser where you bring kids around and you drop them off and they go sell coupons and stuff, and he's in a white suburb in Minneapolis here, and he's sitting in his car looking at the map where he's going to send the kids to go next, and the police show up. Middle of the day, Sunday afternoon, somebody called the cops on him. I'm like, why? He said DWB. I said, what? What's that? He said
driving while black.
Driving while black. I'm like, wow.
Oh, okay.
It's a thing.
Why would and I've done the same coupon sale thing multiple times. Nobody called the cops on me.
Yeah, but
you're not
fair,
a black man. Nick, too, to be fair.
I absolutely, and that's what I can say. I'm not racist, right? Whatever.
Oh no, sweetheart. No, it's not even about that.
It's not.
But it's about the systemic issues.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
See the thing.
The guy, he's a decent dude. Nothing, got a bunch of kids, just pulled over on the side of the road, mind his own business. Did anybody ask for help? Did he flag down the cops? No. Somebody, I don't want to assume, but someone called the police. Someone called the police because they were scared or concerned. Now, why would they be concerned, though, is the question.
It's taught, it's learned. But
I
would say that
it's a rhetorical.
Yeah. MC Toon is so white. I can't tell the difference between his head and the moon in the background there.
Oh, he's so cute. And a little redhead to boot. A little strawberry blonde, I think.
Not that funny. Okay.
No, sorry, we love you. Hey, it's all good. I mean, I'm a girl of the rainbow. I really am. And just being from where I'm from, I grew up in a white suburb, out in the country. It doesn't mean I'm less black or know that I'm less blackness or people that think you should act a certain way or talk a certain way, and even when you play that game, it's still not enough. Your hair is too ethnic at work, your earrings are too ethnic at work, your clothes ain't the right kind of clothes. You don't want to wear braids, you need a weave. It's so deeper than you could ever know. Let me get out of here. My boyfriend's on there. He looks like a Viking. I got a striped cat. We're pretty inclusive around here. It's a joke. But I just, you have to just, if people just treated people the way they want to be treated with their golden rule, we wouldn't have any of these problems. But when you start out as an owned people, it's hard for one side to climb out of that, and it's hard for the other side to climb out of that too. But you think we had made some progress, and we have. I'm not denying that, But people think, for instance, because Obama got president, oh, well, all racism is washed away. No. Because all it takes is just a few years after that, look what we got now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that, I'm not a big proponent of the a single man theory of historical development. I think that it's the political structures, and we need to change some political machinery. We need to change how policemen, I just repeat myself, I guess, how they're taught, and certain other things too.
Brenda, folks is ignorant, and that's not by accident.
Well, I know
and a lot of people don't care.
We talk to a lot of ignorant people every day here, like flat earthers. I mean, we talk to the flat earthers all the time.
They're on another level.
Well, they are. Some of them are victims of a bad educational system. Some of them
I totally agree.
Are kind of deliberately ignorant.
Obtuse.
But others are, I think, have been poorly served by their educational background.
I totally agree. And I've actually started the last, this will be my week 2 of chiming in a voice chat and on a show or two here and there, and with flat earthers, and trying to come with them with a more mindful approach and some kindness, because I do see a lot of prickliness of there's plenty of places where you can malign flat earthers for just being stupid and this, that, and the third, and I'm not talking about your Oakleys and them guys, they're true charlatans. But the people they listen to, those are the ones that I want to reach. I'm an educator myself, and I do a lot of hacks.
Yeah, you're not going to change Oakley's mind because.
Oh no, nor would I try. But people, in discussion, if there's a fair fight, and another smaller channel, that maybe aren't so sure, maybe are on the fence, and just with science in general, and education in general. Flat Earth leads into a lot of cracks of where they are missing a lot of knowledge, but I don't think it does any good to jump down people's throat and call them stupid.
Latoya,
what's that?
Latonya, what level students do you teach?
Yeah.
What level?
I actually teach disabled. I work with disabled adults actually, but I was going back to get my certification for K-12. It's weird here in Washington. You can, once you kind of get your base certifications, then you kind of can pick what grades you want to work. But yeah, I can't afford any more loans. kind of school.
Yeah, but
I thought it was going to be poor enough to qualify, but go ahead.
I think teaching disabled children or disabled adults, or either way, that's a hard job. I wouldn't even know how to go about that.
Well, we teach it, and you know what
really
it is,
wouldn't.
mostly, Brenda. As long as you got a kind heart and you want to be there, a lot of the rest of it just falls into place. And that's really kind of with healthcare. I mean, yes, you do have to know some stuff. You know, you don't want to kill anybody, but medications and things like that. But that stuff can be learned. It's really a kindness and patience goes a long way. And I think there's not enough of that on our side when it comes to flat earthers. And you guys, I'm totally willing to switch gears. I've been eating, living, and sleeping, breathing this damn crazy world right now. And believe me, today I actually needed a nice little break. And thank you for letting me get that off my chest. It's been brewing. Because I get in the chat, I just be looking around and be like, okay, folks, yep. Opinions are like buttholes. Can you say butthole on your own? Sorry, Tim.
You can say butthole.
Oh. Okay, I saw your last live stream with that crazy guy.
Simon?
God, he changes his name every time. I see him for a couple years now, and
Simon.
He gets crazier every time I see him. Is that it, Simon? Yeah, Latino brother.
Yeah, he is Mexican. Yeah, he constantly gets his main account on Facebook banned, so he uses his nephew's account, I think, which is Mario. So, but his real name is Simon.
Nephew a flat earther now too?
His nephew is a kid. So.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, it looked like they was just kind of like, they must think he's crazy. Like, yeah, Uncle so sure. Turn around and be like, he's nuts.
That's Tio Loco.
You know, he walks away to cry. Yeah. Oh, Tio is loco. Hey. See, we love him, but.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I'm like, is there a person underneath Simon's thick facade? I like.
As a local PSA to everyone listening, don't do drugs, kids. Not those kind of drugs. Whatever those drugs are, or whatever he's drinking, don't do it. That's all I can say.
Well,
Bless him.
there are certain drugs which, when abused over a period of years, lead to significant cognitive issues, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Maybe, and that's another thing I've noticed. There might be some serious mental health involved along with the flat earth. And I'm not kidding. I'm not a doctor, but you work with certain folks and certain things, and you see certain patterns of certain behaviors. And there might be quite a bit of underlying, maybe, I don't want to say. I just think people should be mindful about how they approach folks. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, there has been one that I've seen, one peer-reviewed, or I don't know if it's peer-reviewed, published study on flat earthers on the psychology of it.
Seriously?
Yeah, I
really?
I'll pull it up here.
I believe it.
I
believe it
wasn't
because
aware
it's cult-like.
Wasn't aware that anybody paid attention to him. Really,
yeah, and it's a couple years old actually. I'll put it up here. So I put it in the chat.
Honestly, I thought I've only been doing this a couple of years, like just watching fighters. I thought it was a joke. I don't know how I even come across it. I can't remember what I was doing, but it was just like I just clicked on something, or it might have been running on a feed or something. And I thought it was like a spoof. And sure enough, it wasn't.
Well, it's like a lot of things.
Whole community.
It is in a way. It's not unrealistic to say it's like a cult. And what happens, or what can happen, is that people become involved with conspiracy theories, and once you get sort of involved, and there's been a lot of research on conspiracy theories, and what can happen is you get into an echo chamber where everybody's telling you the same thing, and so you can just really believe it. You can just get caught up in that, and it can become how you see the world, and that can happen. And the way that you break out of that is that you have to you have to the same way you get somebody out of a religious cult is you have to separate them from the people that are reinforcing those beliefs, right?
Yeah.
And,
I totally agree.
And we there are ex-flat earthers and people who have.
Yeah, I've talked to a couple of them, and they're wonderful.
Yeah.
Very nice. One of my new favorites is Speak Truth, Speak Truth. He's just a sweetheart.
He is. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
I don't know what he was like before, but would you say he is now?
Yes. It isn't something that's.
Dang, dude.
Let's see. Somebody's.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Go ahead, Brenda. I'm sorry. That just caught me off guard.
Okay.
Heat Shield is wondering if he can say bunghole. Yes, you can say bunghole.
Well, something happened. The bunghole is the hole in the cask of beer, isn't it? That's the bunghole.
Yeah, there's
you
other
are
names
walking
for it.
encyclopedia, Brenda. I swear. I swear. I've been listening to you for a long time too, and you always got something under the hat. What the hell? Who are you?
So Bumper XX1 needs TP for his bunghole.
Oh no! You know what? You're so corny.
I didn't say that's Bumper XX1 says that.
I'm talking to Bumper. He hears me. He knows who I am. What's up, Bumper?
TP for my
you cornball.
TP for my bunghole.
TP for my bunghole.
Bumper XX1, dude. Send me a message. Send me an email, or on Discord, and I'll get you in.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think people have to kind of come to their own too. The more sometimes you push hard, a lot of times folks dig in. And I've noticed it's my favorite saying, and I stick with it since I was a kid. Education is inoculation. If they had a better education, Flat Earth wouldn't have a chance.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? My brother's a conspiracy theorist. Illuminati, lizard people, you name it. But he don't believe the Earth is flat. I was like, I said, bro, you think of the Flat Earthers? He said, they're crazy. I said, all right, duly noted. Okay, lizard guy.
Really, lizards?
Whatever. Lizard people, Illuminati, who else? All that, whatever thing you think, but not the Flat Earth.
I guess David
thinks they're nuts.
David Icky is about the lizard people, but not Flat Earth. So some people
ain't that something?
Some people pronounce it Ike, but I call him David Icky.
David Icky.
I've heard it both ways.
I'm gonna stick with Icky.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't.
This is the interweb.
Bumper XX1.
No, I'm glad you guys had this show. Right on. Oh, good Lord, what you want?
He wants on. I guess he wants to tell you all about the teepee he needs.
Now we're gonna all have to have showers. He wants teepee for his bunghole.
So
I got a size 9 for his bunghole.
Latanya, do you know Amy Hogan? Because she's your fan now.
No, hey Amy. No, hi Amy. Do you know what? I think we're on some channels together though.
Yeah, Amy's.
That name sounds familiar.
Amy's on. You're on with the shows,
hi, Amy.
Right? The E Network. I think.
Who, me?
No, Amy is.
I don't know.
Amy is, yeah.
Oh, what are you asking me? I can't even get on proper on the phone. What are you talking about? I don't know.
You got on.
I just go do stuff and I make comments. Yeah, I was like, is he mean my? You know what it is? I just realized I I had to clear some stuff out, and I think I took my sync off. I have, a couple emails, like a Gmail and a Yahoo, and it was in my Yahoo, but it didn't go to my Gmail. Something is slow. I don't know why. It goes eventually, but if I don't check it directly, it's a bunch of nonsense. Sure enough, it was sitting right there. I was like, oh, bless her. Oh, that's good juice. Mm. Yeah, I just, Tune, remind us, don't you live way out in, boondock, Bill, way out in Iceland or Nova Scotia or crazy up there?
I live in Minnesota, in a suburb of
It
Minneapolis.
is Minnesota.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know why, but I remember one year you were, it was so cold, and I don't know who you were talking to, but it was negative crazy.
30.
And I was like, where is he at? I was going to say 30, actually. I was like, it's negative 31 or something.
Yeah.
I was like, where is he at? And I was like, somebody's like, there's Nova Scotia or something. I was like, I don't know.
That was, yeah.
But I think it's Nova Scotia. I don't know.
Well, it probably, I think I had Punchy on, who's in Winnipeg at the time, so he...
maybe that's why. I just kind of remembered that, and cold, and I was like, yeah, won't be doing that negative 30 nothing. Yeah, nah, won't be doing that.
It is cold, and it's hot today, and we have an old house, which means lots of not insulation and leakiness. So the window behind
so as hot as it is outside.
Yeah, well, our air conditioner is fans, so I have a fan blowing over here.
Sounds about right.
Yep. So
nobody has an air conditioner in Washington, like rich people do, like really, really rich people do. But in your house,
really,
it's not hot enough throughout the year to really. No, not really. I mean, it's nice. People do, but it's kind of like those rollaway ones.
Oh, okay.
You just put in a room. It's not like usually in your windows when you go to buy a house. Apartments, yes, but house, nah. Maybe today's houses, but nah. Anything, no. It's pretty mild here. It's really a waste of electricity, honestly. You get some fan and you'll suffer a couple of weeks out of the year. You'll be okay.
Are you Seattle area somewhere?
Yeah, I'm about an hour south of Seattle, near Mount Rainier. Not too far.
Yeah, okay. So you get
about an hour from the mountain.
The ocean kind of mediates your temperature there.
That's right. Now, Eastern Washington's another story. It's got seasons. You can get some pretty cold and pretty hot weather in the hundreds all summer.
Oh, yeah. So
those Cascade Mountains just take up all that water.
So Brainy Beaver keeps talking to me here.
Hey, Brainy!
He said, I will replace my AC before I figure out water. Straight up. Before I figure out water?
What's there to figure out about water?
Do you need some instructions on water, Brainy? Could be. Now he does work with AC. Brainy, you want to come down and install AC in my house? You can. We have window units that we put in, but they're not in yet. So he says, I will sort out water later.
You know what? Kind of flipping gears. Hey, in matter of fact, Bumper might have been on this one. We were having a conversation the night, me and a few other guys, and the SpaceX, woohoo, SpaceX. We were looking at some of the camera angles, and just chomping the bit, and one of them said, I think it was him too. He's like, look at that camera angle. How's that, how'd they get that backwards angle picture? Whatever. And sure enough, of course, flat earthers will pick anything apart.
Yeah.
Even though I'm sure there's a very valid reason. And I can't remember if we decided it. We had some, all the guys over there who know stuff. All those engineers and photographers and all that stuff and chat and on the show or whatever. And I guess it kind of sounded like a fisheye lens with maybe 110 or 180 degree camera around. Okay, can you elaborate a little on that? You know what I'm talking about?
So it's typically GoPro cameras, could be something else, but that they have on the on the back end of almost all the cameras, I think, are pretty similar. The fisheye wide angle, but specifically on the back end of the single engine when they're getting up to the higher orbit. There's one on either side, and so when the horizon, when the horizon's off on one side, it's curved one way, and when it's off on the other side, it's curved the other way, and at some point, it's flat because it's going from one extreme to the other. But when it's in the middle, when it crosses the center frame, that's when you get the most true version of it.
And that's when you get your sphere.
That's when you see the most accurate. Yeah, but it's still distorted, and every lens is distorted to some extent. So looking at the horizon using a camera lens and no external reference is, it's not a great idea because you don't know. You can't calibrate easily without having a lot of information exactly where it is curved. So there is software that GoPro comes with that will remove that. But of course, flat earthers don't trust it. So I just say, well, good. Just take a 8-foot straight edge, put it up next to the horizon, and then take a picture of that. Because the straight edge we know is straight.
Right.
And then you just measure the distances there. And I have a few of them, and I actually counted the pixels. It took forever. Counted the pixels from the horizon.
I was
going to
say
edge.
That's how you have to do it, though. Yeah. Oh, wow. That does take forever.
And then,
but it's worth it, and it's accurate.
And then plotted it out, and they don't really. They don't know what to say.
I mean, honestly, I would have never thought to even ask that question. I just thought it was cool. I was just like, this is awesome. Yeah. I'm so ready to win the lottery to get my butt up there. There are going to be lotteries and all kinds of stuff because the average person's not going to be able to afford that.
Yeah.
Even in the millions, I think.
It's eight people that I know of have gone.
Big bucks.
8 people that I know of
I thought it was less than that. That was only 6. Oh well, then these two.
So actually,
I
have on my website. I have the list of people that
8
that
people,
I know of.
Civilians.
Yeah. So let's see.
You didn't personally know them.
No.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's public record. Oh my God, they probably couldn't. They probably still have people on their lawn now. I have to ask you guys: have you been watching some of the interviews with the astronauts at all?
A couple.
Brenda or Tim? Brenda?
No, I have not.
Tim, have you noticed how clean and put together the inside is? Not wires hanging all over the place.
Yeah.
I love that. And it looks professionally. That's the most put together jerry-rigged mess. I love the international station, so they look like crap sometimes.
I love that when they were given the timeline of stuff, they're like, the one American that was currently at on the ISS, they're like, well, he's going to get up at this time, and then he's going to spend 4 hours cleaning. It's like, who's going to give him the instructions?
Blow by blow.
Did you bring his mom in to give him the instructions?
Yeah, does he have his mop, his gloves? Mop.
So all right, so here is mctoon.net/space-tourism, or you can just find it off of my.
What am I looking at?
Main webpage. These are the 8 people that I know of that have gone to space, and how much they paid. $20 million for that Dennis Tito paid.
Holy crap!
How do I see this?
It's on the live stream.
I'm on the phone.
Okay, it's on the live stream. Yeah. So you won't see it. It's not sharing.
Yeah, I just clicked it real fast.
So
no, it's all good. Oh, I see. 2001.
Yeah, and then this Richard.
Does it say what they're $20 million?
Yep.
Richard, well, ain't got no cheaper.
Richard Garriott went for $30 million. And one guy went twice.
8 days on the ISS. 9 days. He had so much fun. He went twice.
35. 35. Holy crap.
35 million. So, one of these guys went, and then a morning radio show shock jockey had a flat earther come in and had one of these guys come in who had been on the ISS, and the flat earther had no idea.
I saw that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
He didn't know what to say.
He was mad. Oh, he's like, you guys set me up, bro. Set me up, bro.
So
nah, bro, you set yourself up.
So I interviewed Pete Zvarier from the Flat Earth Society, and while I was talking with it, I listed the mentioned that people have paid, and I asked if he would go.
He's never gonna have $20 million.
No, I mean.
Anyway, fair. I love how you see that in there, brother. Fair.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's.
Yeah. So Virgin Galactic is trying to make it much more affordable. $40,000 to go.
That's quite a.
What is Boeing and all this?
That's just suborbital, though.
Oh yeah,
that's 40. Just a short time. Like a few minutes up there. I don't know, 10, 15, 30 minutes.
What, 90 minutes and back home?
Yeah.
Like one trip, like on a round and
but there is
back down.
There is a company that is actively working on a adding a module to the ISS for tourism. So
is that Disney?
We'll see if they get there.
We'll have a hotel someday.
They'll
put on the moon, you think?
Well, in orbit first,
or just
think.
Like floating.
I would think in orbit first,
yeah.
But I would suspect. But there's real problems with spending a long time in space. It causes some big changes to your body that are, some of them are permanent.
Yeah.
And it might not be a good idea.
On that, but
it might not.
You ain't lying.
Yeah.
I don't think, one little trip will hurt you, but you're talking like, probably maybe months or that kind of amount of time. And plus, you're not a trained astronaut. You're just Joe Schmesnick, got some money and going. And I'm sure there's probably some strenuous tests you got to probably pass to even get on, like flying. A lot of people still can't fly in an airplane. Heart conditions and, late pregnant women, late stages of pregnancy and that kind of thing. So, I mean, I'm sure there'll be some limitations as far as if you can even go.
Yeah, you wouldn't want pregnant women going up there. They could.
Well, no, but
that wouldn't be good.
I meant more disorderly. More disorderly. You wouldn't want. Yeah. First baby born in space.
Sometimes I'm unintentionally funny.
Well, would they still be considered Earthlings if they were born in space?
Yeah, you might have a citizenship problem later too.
So I know that there's a Mile High Club, but is there a
200 Mile High Club?
Right.
I don't know. Who knows?
Roger Moore.
You at least got a passport. What's your other passport for your dual citizenship there?
So Roger Moore got that one, I think, if you're going to go by the movies. In
Roger
Diamonds?
007. No, what was the name of the one that they were in space? And of course, the final scene, he's with the love interest, and he pulls down the little shade, and then they zoom back on the shuttle or whatever.
I don't remember the name of that.
Electrome is wondering the video. The flat earther talks to a guy who's been on the ISS. I don't know the video for that. So Kevin Brown says, "Of course there is. We're human." Yep.
What was that?
Is there a 200 Mile High Club? And Kevin Brown says, "Of course there is. We're human."
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, didn't some astronaut, didn't one of them go to jail or something for stalking another astronaut?
Well, that wasn't 200.
Or she lied or something.
Yeah, that wasn't. I think while on the ISS, that was at home, right down on the ground,
on land.
Yeah. The name of
I'm sure it's a small club though.
The name of the movie is Moonraker. So
Moonraker, yes.
Yeah, there you go. So, all right. Well,
got some Bond fans.
Oh yeah, I love James Bond.
Right on. So you Costner guy? I mean Costner.
Yeah.
Connery. Sorry.
Me? Pierce Brosnan. Absolutely,
Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan. Yes.
Yeah, I like him too.
He's my favorite. When I
haven't
first
seen him in
saw
anything.
when I first saw the TV show Remington Steele,
Can I do that?
I said, "Oh, that's James
Oh
Bond,
yeah,
isn't it?"
that's a good one.
This is way before James Bond. I thought that's James Bond, right? So came true later.
He's got the look.
He does. All right. Well,
I'm gonna head out, kiddos.
Yeah.
I got an early day tomorrow.
Okay.
I got
We'll see you then.
I got a tree to
Oh
cut
well,
up
thank you
tomorrow.
guys for inviting me on.
Thanks for
Oh,
coming.
Lord.
It's great to have you. I look forward to having seeing you around more.
Goodbye.
Yes, you bet. Yeah, and some reason I'll never get your notifications. And I just kind of check the channel kind of regularly here and there, and then I'll see, oh, he's got a show.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I plan to do something every Tuesday, so that's the night I do live streams.
Every Tuesday. Wonderful.
Tuesday, so.
Sounds good. And nice talking to you, Brenda.
And I think Brenda took off, I think, it looks like.
Oh, did she head out? Okay.
Yep.
All righty. Well, y'all be good. All right, y'all chat. Be good, kids.
All right.
Thanks again, Tim.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. Well, I am going to, let's see. First, I'll do this. There we go. I'm going to head out as well. Thanks, everybody, for coming. It was almost 4 hours, so thanks a lot. It was great. A lot of fun. Heavy topic. I hope that we can move past this and have our society figure these things out and not have to resort to rioting and stuff in order to make change, So, all right. Thanks everybody for joining. And if you liked it, let me know about that with a thumbs up. And if you have stuff to say, feel free to say what you need in the comments. And keep it clean and happy and respectful. So, all right. We'll see you later. Bye.